Good evening, everyone. Tom Gazzola here inside the South Okanagan Event Center in Penticton as we get set to witness two teams coming off of decisive 4-1 victories in their respective tournament openers. It's the Oilers and Flames, the Young Stars version of the Battle of Alberta. Now, after a dazzling debut that saw him pick up a pair of goals and a helper last night, Jesse Puljujarvi gets the night off. So too does Drake Caggiula. Looking at the Flames, their prized possession from this past June's draft, Matthew Tkachuk is back in action. He plays alongside Mark Jankowski and Austin Carroll on what should be Calgary's top line. Now, with more on tonight's action, we send it up to the booth to a pair of beauties, Gene Principe, Pat Steinberg. Take it away, guys.
Is there anybody more beautiful than Tom Gazzola, Pat? And I'm not sure, I couldn't see, but I think hair 74 was out of place for Tom, but I'm sure he'll have that fixed up.
Be still my beating heart. I love you, Tom Gazzola.
Well, you know what? Our hearts won't be still tonight, because if you're ever going to pick a Saturday night and pick one hockey game and have a real rivalry and a real battle, it is the Battle of Alberta. Both these clubs looked, well, comfortable. And I don't know, I don't want to say easy wins, but they didn't have to work too hard last night. I expect the work rate will be a little bit higher tonight as Edmonton and Calgary meet for a first time, as we only have the one game tonight as part of the Young Stars tournament.
Yeah, both teams taking 4-1 wins over the Jets for the Flames and the Canucks for the Oilers yesterday, and both teams looking pretty good. So the two standouts of the event so far will play tonight, and the Flames are going very, very similar to the lineup that they used yesterday. You'll see there is one change. Riley Bruce in the bottom right there on a pairing with Oliver Shillington isn't going to play tonight. They're going to put Belarusian defenseman Roman Dykov instead in that spot. So that's the only change you'll see in that lineup. But the top line continues to be Mark Jankowski between Austin Carroll and Matthew Tkachuk, who not only was the Flames' 6th overall pick in the 2016 draft, he was also in the middle of everything last night. You'll see the 16 penalty minutes against the Jets. That included a 10-minute misconduct. But look at this. He was involved physically with Brendan Lemieux. He got himself involved in all kinds of scrums in that way. And then offensively, he was one of the catalysts. Number of good opportunities. Set up this, which also served as the save of the tournament to this point. And he really was noticeably offensively last night for the Flames. So you got Matthew Tkachuk, who's been the highlight of this tournament so far for the Flames. And then you got this young man, Andrew Mangiapane, who was the multi-point man for the Flames last night, a goal and an assist, and he's had himself another really strong Young Stars Classic after 2015 as well. So far anyway, got involved physically, had some offensive opportunities, and look at his release on this goal. Puck squirts loose to him, and no mistake, that's in the top corner for Andrew Mangiapane.
Well, Mangiapane will be looking to try and be successful against an Oilers squad that does have a different look. Tom touched on the fact that two of the higher thought of talents on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, Drake Caggiula and Jesse Puljujarvi, will not be in the lineup tonight. Puljujarvi coming off a fantastic performance in his debut with Edmonton. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist. So there are 4 different forwards who will be in the lineup tonight, and 3 different defensemen. Well, one defenseman that will be back for a 2nd straight game is Matthew Benning. We talked about Matthew Tkachuk. Everybody knows his father is Keith Tkachuk, a hockey Hall of Famer in the United States for everything he did during his long career. Well, Matthew Benning's father, Brian Benning, who, like Keith Tkachuk, used to play for the St. Louis Blues. Well, this young man might be a little bit nervous. Found out yesterday that he would be starting tonight. The Edmonton Oilers always looking to stock the shelves a little bit when it comes to goaltending, and they've decided to go with Dylan Wells. He's got quite a performance to follow up on after Nick Ellis, free agent signing out of Providence, had a strong outing, only beaten once in the Oilers' debut game against the Vancouver Canucks. So Wells, a recent draft pick on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, looks to see what he can do in regards to impressing this evening. Both these clubs had 3-goal victories last night. And I'd be curious to see, Pat, because we always expect the Battle of Alberta to be physical, whether someone like Matthew Tkachuk, after that great highlight package you showed from last night, is someone who maybe gets the blood boiling for the opposing team this evening.
That's certainly what he likes to do, and he thrives on that role. And I don't know if there's going to be somebody who he's got kind of pre-existing heat with in this game tonight. You can tell that he and Brendan Lemieux from their Ontario Hockey League days had a little bit of history together, but that's what he does. He likes to set the tone, and his physicality, as much as his offense, is what makes him such an impressive player. Not really all that dissimilar from Jesse Puljujarvi, who does not shy away from contact for the Oilers. We won't see him tonight, but man, he looked good last night for the Oilers.
Yeah, expect to see him in the wrap-up game on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, which won't happen until Monday, as Edmonton and Calgary will have the day off tomorrow, as we are just about set for these young gentlemen to get a chance to wear their jerseys against the Oiler jerseys. But before we do that, it is time for our national anthem, and just like last night, we introduce you to Kara Sheely.
Love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Second goalie drafted at the most recent draft, 2016, at one end of the ice, and it is OHL battle, because at the other end it is Dylan Wells, also drafted just a couple of months ago on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, a couple of seasons with the Peterborough Petes. So OHL on the line when it comes to the two starting netminders. In Calgary's case, Pat, it looks like they will split the goaltending duties on the part of Edmonton. Wells, just like last night, Nick Ellis is expected to go the distance, barring some unforeseen circumstances. And we are just about set to go. It's Battle of Alberta Young Stars tournament style, and we are underway. Edmonton and Calgary. Rasmus Andersson, first touch on the puck up to Ryan Lomberg. Lomberg, a goal scorer last night, one of 4 different goal scorers on the part of the Flames. Joey Bennick, speaking of goal scorers, had an empty net goal last night. He was on the top line with Drake Kajula and Jesse Puljujarvi. Bennick playing again, the former Penticton V. Rasmus Andersson over his defense partner, and Lomberg will just chip that in. Ben Betker, who's wearing the C tonight on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, gets a run into the end glass. They'll get it to Caleb Jones, and the Oilers will neatly come out of their own zone. Kyle Platzer had the C on last night. Up ahead with Greg Chase, certainly someone familiar to Calgary hockey fans after his time with the Hitmen. Big hit by Braden Christopher as he got Matthew Phillips. Well, around 5'6", 150 pounds, but you see there, Pat, he bounces right back up after the big hit by Christopher. Chase with a chance out front, and Parsons with a comfortable stop, his first of the night.
I think we use the term diminutive when talking about Matthew Phillips, and you're right. He took that hit, bounced right back up. There's Tyler Parsons, our first look at him in this tournament, and here's Matthew Phillips getting stood up kind of very quickly. Braden Christopher decks him. Phillips right back up, and look, Matthew Phillips at that size playing in the Western Hockey League, he's used to this. It's not like this is new to him.
One of those, third in the Western Hockey League in scoring last year. So that's when you get those kind of numbers, you gain a lot of attention, as he had himself a fantastic season. 109 points, 27 goals, and 82 assists with the Lethbridge Hurricanes.
There's Braden Burke, who, as you mentioned, is one of those tryout players, and yeah, coming off a really strong year with the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and he'll pop in for this face-off here.
Yeah, Burke hoping to do kind of what Dryden Hunt did. He had a fantastic season, second in scoring in the Western Hockey League, and he eventually signed a deal with the Florida Panthers. I'm sure Burke would like to do the same with the Calgary Flames. There's Hunter Smith banging in the corner, which he does very well thanks to his size. Lane Bauer, lead pass. That's intercepted, as it looked like the Oilers might be able to break in for their first good opportunity. Jaden Deschanel making his young star's debut. Shot, and Wells with the easy stop. As a little bit of stuff going on with Deschanel and Rasmus Anderson behind the play.
Yeah, just a couple minutes into the first period, and as we'd expect, these teams haven't really played with each other much, and certainly haven't played against each other, so kind of feeling each other out. There's a Mikel Agard who played his first game in the Young Stars Classic last year, and Hunter Smith you were talking about earlier. It was a couple of years ago when we saw Hunter Smith certainly insert himself into a game and drew quite the rise out of one Gene Principe.
Yeah. I do remember that. I mean, he is, I'll tell you what, he's not quite Joe Thornton and Brent Burns with his beard, but he's pretty close. He's pretty close. Big, talented kid, and he's one of those players that the Flames would love to have in their lineup in the next couple of seasons. There's Matthew Tkachuk, who'd like to be in the lineup this season. Maybe following the footsteps of Sean Monahan. Chance out front, bounces all the way into the slot. The Oilers, Carson Stadnick will just push it back out. Matthew Tkachuk fighting in the corner. Retrieved. Shot, and that goes way up high as Mark Jankowski rips it over Wells. Chance out front. Austin Carroll with a great opportunity. Nice pressure here by the Flames. Again with the pass to the slot, and Carroll brought down to his knees, and the Oilers slowly get it out. Thomas Foster making his debut wearing number 64 on the part of the Oilers. There's a look at Matthew Benning. His father Brian is here, and yes, the name is familiar because his uncle is Jim. In fact, his uncle Jim was part of the Bruins organization when they drafted him in 2012, 6th round pick. Never came to terms with the Bruins, but has done that with the Oilers. Chad Butcher takes a.
We take a look at some of the offensive opportunities. That's a heck of a pass from Matthew Tkachuk right to Austin Carroll, and no surprise that line of Carroll, Jankowski, and Tkachuk making things happen. They were the best offensive line for the Flames last night in terms of consistency, even though they didn't really hit the score sheet a lot. And in their first shift tonight, making things happen again.
It's Christopher and Platzer. 3 of the 4 goals scored by the Edmonton Oilers last night. 2 by Puljujärvi and Markus Niemelainen are not in the lineup tonight, as Edmonton, I'm not sure, well, wholesale changes, pretty wholesale when you've got half a defense that's new, and 1/3 of your forwards are new as well. Shot from the point. Wells a save, rebound, and Wells makes a second stop. Oliver Shillington with the original shot from the point. And a real good chance on the rebound, but Wells able to make 2 stops. Dylan Dubé had the opportunity to put the Flames in front. Dubé out front. So the Flames so far, Pat, seem to be looking towards the slot as maybe an area of opportunity early in this game against Edmonton.
We're going to look at it in the next break, but that was a heck of a play from Shillington. Just showing, you know, we talk about Shillington a lot, who's still on the ice right now. We talk about his skating a lot, and he kind of had to use his skating on that shot, but just the way he was able to pivot and position himself to be able to get not just a shot, but a hard shot away, that was impressive.
Anyone who plays in the AHL at the age of 18 after spending his career basically overseas, that tells you a little bit of something. Now there's a high stick, or at least it looked like it, but that's not called, as it looked like Tkachuk might have taken one near the visor, but played back into the Flame zone. And Stepan Falkovsky, 6'7", 225 pounds. Riley Bruce, you mentioned, not in the lineup. He's 6'7". There's Keegan Kanzig, who's 6'7". I think the Flames thought this was a basketball
tournament. And Hunter Smith, too, 6'7".
6'7". Well, if there's a pickup basketball game, my money's on the Flames.
They've got 4 of the tallest guys in this tournament and the shortest. And Matthew Phillips,
point guard. Could be the point guard, right? Deschanel trying to get out front. Time at the blue line. Benning over to Caleb Jones. He tries to sneak it in. That's batted away. busy timer on the television set or on the internet for the Jones family, as Caleb is playing here while brother Seth is out east for Team North America. Matthew Benning wraps it around the boards. His father Brian, distinguished career in the National Hockey League, former second-round pick, and had at least a cup of coffee with the Edmonton Oilers before wrapping up his NHL career with the Florida Panthers. There's Colin Shirley playing his second straight game as Benning takes a big hit from the aforementioned Hunter Smith. Shirley with the shot, and I'm not sure when it comes to any potential fisticuffs if the Oilers really have a match for Hunter Smith. Ben Betker got into a scrap last night, but I think Hunter Smith might be in his own weight class and category potentially tonight.
With his history in this tournament, I don't know how many people are going to be willing to step up and drop their gloves with number 71 in red.
And there's Betker, who did so last night with Joel Abate, the shot. I think the Oilers like the fact that Betker stood up for a teammate after a big hit, and no coincidence that tonight he's wearing the C.
Nice job by Edmonton to kind of tilt things back a little bit more even. The Flames had really started to take this game over. Oilers have had a couple of nice pushback shifts here.
Flames coming right back. Tuola spins in the corner, looks for a little room out front, nothing there. Chance from the point, that's deflected as Kenny Morrison tries to get it through, and there's Betker with Tuola.
Here's Hunter Smith, who does what he does best, and you know, if he's going to make his way to the NHL at some point, it's going to be plays like that. It's going to be physicality like that that gets him there. Played all of last season, his first professional year in the American League. Points wise, not a ton, but first year in pro hockey, kind of to be expected as he continues to move along. You know, you're looking for more points, but that physicality is going to keep him there. 2
goals, 6 assists, 8 points, and 90 penalty minutes. So as he knows, and all of us in hockey know, the role of the enforcer who simply rolls off the bench every once a period, it's not really around anymore. He needs to play. Greg Chase wants to play entirely in the American Hockey League, as opposed to last year where he spent some time in the East Coast Hockey League. Had a pretty good chance there. Chase, you know, he's the kind of player you want to notice, and he wants to be noticed. That's when he's at his best, and he may be a good verbal and physical match for Tkachuk, because I know the pedigree's a little different. One a first-round pick, one a seventh-round pick, but they sort of have the same kind of game.
They certainly do. And Greg Chase put up some really good numbers in the Western Hockey League. I know his final year in the WHL wasn't necessarily the type of year he would have wanted, and got traded from Calgary and didn't necessarily go his way. But Greg Chase is one of those really nice value picks for the Edmonton Oilers. And in his time in the Western Hockey League, he developed a very, very well-earned reputation as one of the mouthiest, in a good ways, one of the mouthiest players in the league. He knew how to chirp.
2-on-1, Braden Christopher with Chase. Christopher waits, tries to get it across. There's Chase. And they dig the puck out as Parsons kept it out, and the Flames kept the play going. And here comes Brett Pollock, involved in a trade deadline deal involving Dallas and Calgary. Shot, and Dylan Wells will make the save. And so we talked about Greg Chase, and he has a pretty good opportunity, but Tyler Parsons stands his ground and makes a stop.
Well, and what was really interesting, as the camera was shifting the other way, Greg Chase stayed down there and didn't leave the crease for a good 25-30 seconds afterwards. Christopher decides to pass, kind of goes off a stick and in on Parsons, and that one looked like it was going to be difficult to stay out, but Parsons did a nice job kind of straddling the goal line and standing his ground, and Greg Chase falls down, and as he does, kind of took a little while to get out of the crease and made life a little bit difficult on the Calgary goaltender. Parsons, Memorial Cup champion, has looked good to this point for the Flames, as he's now made 4 stops. Both goalies have faced 4 shots perfect at this point.
Blaine Bauer, who's played a little bit of wing and a little bit of center so far in these first 2 games, wins the draw. Flames angling back. Stykov, who was, well, I would say a late addition, because we were expecting Riley Bruce to be in the lineup. Shot, Wells is saved. Rebound, scores! Matthew Tkachuk bangs home the rebound, and the Flames take a 1-0 lead.
And that is all thanks to number 77 in red, Mark Jankowski, because he makes a brilliant pass to Austin Carroll. You'll see it in just a second, but no look behind the back, hits Carroll on the slot, and then Matthew Tkachuk, as he is known to do, crashing hard towards the net, is able to gobble up the rebound. So Tkachuk gets it started, puts it deep, and I don't know if you'll see it on this look, but here it is right there. No look behind the back, finds Carroll, and there's Tkachuk, who's able to bang it home. But what a pass from Mark Jankowski to go behind the back and no look, and to hit Carroll perfectly to set up the first goal. It's 1-0 Flames.
So the number one line for the Flames, all involved in that opening goal. And Matthew Tkachuk last night did everything but score. And tonight he has done exactly that to give, whoa, Hunter Smith. He had his sights set. Hunter Smith not afraid to throw the body around. Cale Dotzel actually absorbed that pretty well. Better than I thought, if you could tell by my reaction.
Imagine having that big rig coming at you and knowing that you're going to get hurt, because once it's that close, you know that you're going to have to take it. And that is like we were talking about this on the webcast last night, but when Hunter Smith came and sat with us at the 2014 NHL draft after going in the second round, I was blown away, stunned. I mean, this it has to be a mistake. This is not an 18-year-old hockey player. No, that's now a 20-year-old hockey player, 21-year-old hockey player. Well beyond his years, and he is a handful when he comes at you.
Kyle Jenkins playing his first game, looking for a deflection. We will have a penalty as Chad Butcher was tripped up heading to the net, and we'll have our first power play on the night. Looks like maybe Ryan Lomberg is waiting for it's a hook.
Yep, they're going to call it a hook. And they got an unsportsmanlike as well. It looks like Lomberg's going to take 2 because teed him up afterwards. So I wonder if we get 4 up on the board here, or no, they're going to put the unsportsmanlike on Butcher, and that's going to go for the dive.
I don't. Let's see this.
So there's the hook. And then,
well, I've seen worse dives in Rio.
I don't know if I see a dive there, Gino. I thought
at least the ice isn't green.
It's true. So they give a hook to Lomberg, and Butcher gets the unsportsmanlike, so we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, that might be one of the worst penalties in hockey, to get that unsportsmanlike shot from the point. Butcher, the way he plays isn't one to embellish, but maybe the referees thought that he did there. So it is 4-on-4, lots of space for both sets of foursomes on the ice. Shot doesn't get through. Jenkins will get to it. He's got some time. He just lifts it out of his own zone, hops over the stick of Rasmus Anderson, and Ryan Culkin bats it back. This might be great for Andrew Mangiapane. With his speed and this space, we'll see if he has a chance to use it.
And his ability to work in tight space is pretty impressive. When he has more open space, he can really go to work.
Caleb Jones, who still has a ways to go to catch his brother, but he looks to have more of an offensive pedigree than maybe Seth Jones, who's a real strong stay-at-home defenseman. Austin Carroll, one of 2 players this evening born in Scottsdale, Arizona. And the other one is Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk, of course.
There's Carroll. Chance, and Wells makes the stop as Austin Carroll. He's been impressive last night already. Tonight he's got some real good elements to his game.
Scored a goal last night, assisting on the Matthew Tkachuk goal, and nice little move here from Austin Carroll. 7th round pick, but those are not 7th round hands, and if he doesn't get tripped up at the last second, he might be able to finish that one up. Carroll and Jankowski assist on Matthew Tkachuk's first of the tournament. That's the scoring play on the opening goal. 41 seconds to go on this 4-on-4 here.
There's Tkachuk, tries to get it out front and almost sneaked it by Dylan Wells. You got to think proud Papa Keith is in St. Louis online, CalgaryFlames.com, watching his son play after a 16 penalty minute performance. He had 80 last season, so that's 1/5, probably a few more than he would like, but he's shown what he can do. First rounders have a lot of different skills, and he falls into those categories.
I'm just impressed you got that quick math. 16 times 5 is 80.
I practiced.
Well done.
I called my accountant.
That would have been a go-to on the iPhone calculator for me.
I still have a BlackBerry.
They have calculators on those,
Oh, they do?
I think.
Well, we'll figure that out in the first intermission. Matthew Tkachuk's figuring it out in the first period. He's been impressive. Shot from the point, and there's Tkachuk out front looking for a deflection. And I will say this, as Tkachuk has got it again, tries the wraparound, goes cross ice. Oh, almost slipped that into Shillington.
No surprise to see Shillington down deep. In fact, both of his last shifts, he's been right there. And look at this, Matthew Tkachuk. Doesn't matter if he's got a stick.
Yeah. That was almost like a football play. Fumble!
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was something else.
Yeah, and then Tkachuk gets chopped down by Matthew Benning. So Matthew Tkachuk is having his impact on this hockey game already.
He knows what he's doing, and he knows that setting the tone is part of what makes him as effective a hockey player as he is.
I feel like we're talking about him a lot, but he warrants it already, the way he's just been a part of this hockey game. He makes himself a part of it.
To this point, when he's been on the ice, he's manufactured things and made things happen.
Great move, Stepan Falkovsky can't get the shot through. Here's Carson Stadnik, nephew of Bernie Fedorko, and the nephew of Bernie Fedorko will help draw a penalty there, as the Flames will be shorthanded once again.
Holding is the call, so this time it'll actually no unsportsmanlike to go on top of it. So the first power play of the game will go to the Edmonton Oilers. Here's the penalty right here. It's a former Edmonton Oil King, played 4 years in Edmonton, and an Oilers fan growing up, Brett Pollock, who just gets a little bit of a reach in. Was talking to Brett yesterday. Got traded from the Dallas Stars to Calgary while he was playing for the Oil Kings. He got called in by his coach and said, hey, we didn't want to tell you during the game because you got traded during a game. We don't want to tell you during a game, but you got traded to the Flames, and he instantly decided to throw out his Oilers allegiances.
Aaron Irving the shot. That's stopped by Tyler Parsons, who may get a little bit of work here. Irving, a former member of the Edmonton Oil Kings, along with Butcher. Butcher waiting. Shot, and Parsons sticks out the glove and makes the easy stop.
Parsons didn't have a lot of work there for a little bit as the Flames kind of took over for a few minutes. But Tyler Parsons, so much talk about Matthew Tkachuk and Ole Ulevi and Christian Dvorak and Mitch Marner. But so many people said, don't forget about Tyler Parsons during that run to the Memorial Cup. And I think overtime in that final game showed why.
Irving to Butcher. Butcher waiting, dancing. Back over to Aaron Irving. They work it around. Kyle Jenkins. There's Joey Bennick from St. Cloud State. And there's Lomberg. He's another aggravating player, is he not, to play against? Oh, whoa, that could have been dangerous. Lomberg shaking it off. He appears to be okay after he got tripped up by Aaron Irving.
And he just drew a penalty, it looks like, and that'll give us 4-on-4 for the next 75 seconds. I asked Lomberg today as we see the guilty party go. Here's Lomberg going in. He's going to get the penalty call, but he goes, little cross-check there, and then here's the trip. Whoa. Dangerous thing into the boards. I was talking to Lomberg today. I said, what makes you so effective? How come people hate you so much? He said, it's because I always go after the bigger guys. I'm a shorter guy. I go after the bigger guys and chirp them and go after them the most, and that really gets under people's skin.
Well, and he's doing that already. Him and Tkachuk both playing physical, aggravating styles so far. As we've got about 6 minutes left in the opening period. Calgary taking on Edmonton. Pat Steinberg, Gene Principe, bringing you game 3 of the Young Stars tournament. Both these teams are 1-0 so far. Oliver Shillington, boy, he can move. Shillington the shot, and it got deflected partially by Braden Christopher. That slowed it down just enough for Dylan Wells to make the save.
We've been talking a lot about some of the Flames players, but Dylan Wells has looked good in net. There's Shillington, who, when he went into the 2015 draft, a lot of people thought he had high first-round talent, but some question marks dropped him into the second round, and the Flames were able to make a move to pounce. But look at this move. Again, the skating ability of Oliver Shillington allows him to do so many things and create so many opportunities, and he's been certainly a standout so far for the Flames.
Said his favorite defenseman growing up was Bobby Orr, and you're thinking, wait a minute. And he said he's watched so many clips on Bobby Orr. And at the other end of it, Johnny Oduya is a family friend.
Yep.
He met Johnny through his father, and he's become almost like a big brother to him. So it's impressive young man who's got some impressive skates to follow it. And when it comes to offensively, Bobby Orr, and defensively, Johnny Oduya,
Yeah,
Stanley Cup winner.
Oduya during the offseason, and they absolutely have become really tight. And if you're talking about a guy to model your game after in a long NHL career, Oduya is not a bad guy to follow in the footsteps of.
Flames 4-on-4. We'll have a power play in about 15 seconds time. There's Matthew Phillips along with Cale Dotzel. Ben Betker is in there as well. They're just kind of ragging the puck and wasting some time as Dubé doing some good work as the Flames now will have the man advantage. Dubé's got it. Pollock jumps right into the play. Back to the point. Kenny Morrison over to Pollock. Pollock cross ice, and that is partially picked off by Greg Chase, but the Flames corral and continue to have the puck. Trying to get something set up here. Morrison at the point. Broken stick as Pollock was waiting for it. Nice pass, but the stick just let him down on that one-timer.
Yeah, he had that teed up. Don't know if it would have been a really quality scoring opportunity. It was pretty uncontested, but still snaps the stick right in half. That allows the Oilers to easily clear it out into the final seconds of this power play.
Yeah, you hear Parsons slapping his stick on the ice. One last chance, a shot by Ryan Culkin, and that will about do it as Irving is out with 4.5 minutes left in this opening period of play. And so Dylan Wells drafted a little bit farther down in 2016, and no Jesse Puljujärvi, but the Edmonton Oilers have had no shortage of talent at this event. It started in 2010, which was sort of the time where the Oilers began their rebuild. Taylor Hall, that tournament in 2010, Jordan Eberle was there, so was Magnus Pajärvi. The following year, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Oscar Klefbom, as they had 2 draft picks. Leon Draisaitl in 2014, Darnell Nurse 2013, and 2015. I think we remember last year, Pat, as Connor McDavid sort of took over the tournament, not that he meant to, and he only did play one game. The one year we did not see the #1 pick was the lockout season. Ilya Yakupov didn't have a chance to take part in that. Last night was the debut for Jesse Puljujärvi, and that was his opening goal, but it is his goal, Pat, everybody was talking about.
And what was it that he said after the game when he was asked to describe that second goal, Gino?
Well, his English is a work in progress, and he just said fasten up.
You don't need more of a description than that. It's about as
tough for
accurate
TV,
as it
3
gets.
seconds or 3 words, but
Even worse for radio.
Oiler fans had to be happy with what they saw from Puljujärvi.
Well, it's funny you talk. I know that Puljujärvi's not playing tonight, but how thrilled were these two teams when those two players kind of fell to them? You know, I think there was a hope in Edmonton that, you know, Puljujärvi might be there when they drafted at #4, but you didn't know what Columbus was going to do at #3. We knew who #1 and 2 was going to be, but was Dubois going to go, or was that all just kind of sleight of hand? Next thing you know, Dubois gets taken, and it's an easy choice for Peter Chiarelli and co. And then, you know, what were the Canucks going to do at #5? Well, I mean, there's Matthew Tkachuk, a Memorial Cup winner, and he's staring you right in the face, but they really wanted to go D rather, so they went with his teammate in London and Ola Juolevi, and then there's Tkachuk filling a role for the Flames. They need wingers, and so both teams thrilled that those two guys fell to them.
Yeah, interesting the way the draft works. I think the Oilers during the MasterCard Memorial Cup felt like Tkachuk was going to be available for them to make a decision on. But then Columbus took Pierre-Luc Dubois, and things started to change from there. Chance out front, Dylan Wells didn't need to make the stop as a flurry in front of him. There's Carroll. Oh, he almost chipped that through to himself, which would have been a nice play. Glove pass, so plays whistled down as Carson Stadnik was coming back the other way. So the draft, I mean, one thing that Tkachuk felt was that he would end up in Alberta. He just wasn't quite sure where it would be, and as it turned out, he ends up in Calgary. So worked out for Calgary. It's worked out for Edmonton. It's too bad we don't see Puljujärvi tonight, as 4 and 6 would go up against each other in this recent draft.
Man, did #39 and White put on a show yesterday. First goal, okay, puck kind of just comes to him. It's gifted. He's still got to make a heck of a shot, which he does, but that move he makes, and then fasten up to score the second goal last night.
He might be saying fasten up for the next 15 to 20 years.
It's a good hockey player, Gene. I know a lot of people in Calgary were hoping somehow that they could get their hands on Puljujärvi at the draft.
Well, this will be offside, or at least delayed offside. It's taken Hunter Smith a long time to get to the bench. And you know it's got to be something fairly serious for him to slowly creep his way back. Shot by Butcher, and it is Parsons that makes the save. And now they're looking at Hunter Smith on the Flames bench as we have a stoppage in play.
Yeah, he is not in good shape right now. You can see him there talking with the trainers, and you're right, it took a long time to get off the ice. I didn't see what happened right in the blue paint area, but as the play was going the other way, Smith wasn't with it, and yeah, for him to go down and be hurt like that, it certainly means something significant happened. So we'll keep our eye on that as the game continues.
Yeah, it looks like he just sort of got, you know, in front of the net of Wells. It wasn't really a big physical confrontation. He just sort of fell awkwardly, it appeared, and slowly made his way back to the bench. And now he's trying to get up. So as Pat mentioned, we will update you on that as play continues. 10 shots on goal for the Flames, 8 on the part of the Edmonton Oilers. Andrew Mangiapane, who had himself a fantastic year last year in the OHL, said his best point total for one game was 6, and had a hat trick as well. That was his best single game output anyways. High offensive skill, strong on the puck, and he impressed everybody at the Young Stars tournament last year and has started to do that again this year. Wells will make the stop and corral the rebound as Mangiapane was lurking for any opportunity.
It looks like Smith still sitting on the bench there. Hasn't gone away. Looks like he's just checking to see if he'll be able to come back. That's certainly here's what happened, and this would be my first look at it as well. So Smith goes, I'm not sure if did he inadvertently take a stick? Yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
I think we all know what happened there. He'll walk it off and he'll be back.
We might see him in the second period, I would assume.
Whew.
Shot saved by Dylan Wells. There's Betker getting physical again. Boy, Ben Betker, he's a big guy. He's had 2 100-plus penalty minute seasons in the Western Hockey League, now transitioning to the professional game. But I would say this, I didn't see him be that well initiating as he did last night, as he's done tonight. He didn't do that last year at the Young Stars tournament, so he's not afraid to mix it up. Is the man wearing the C tonight for Edmonton?
Yeah, very cool to see him wearing a C. Let's see how this all kind of started. So nice stop by Wells again, and then right there, Betker kind of getting into it with Brett Pollock, and Dylan Dubé comes in. Dubé actually's found himself in the penalty box, and I'm not sure if it was for just kind of being third man in a little bit of a scrum, or if he did something in the scrum, but Dylan Dubé has taken a seat in the penalty box, roughing the call. So Oilers back to the power play, 2:29 to go here in the first period, down by 1. We'll see if they can maybe work their way back into this game and tie it up.
Caleb Jones tries to keep that in at the point, and it's just kind of sneaks by him. The Oilers holding a shorter morning skate today than they did yesterday. It looked like yesterday was a little bit more time spent preparing. Christopher, the shot, and he rings that off the post. Rebound! That goes behind Parsons, but out the other way. Oh, Kyle Platzer with a great chance after a heck of a wrist shot on the part of Christopher.
Yeah, that box for the Flames was pretty passive, and that allowed Christopher to rip one, and he beat everybody but that left post. But man, did he ever get a lot of that. That close to tying this up.
Well, the Oilers will have just short of 30 seconds will be left in the period when Edmonton's done on the power play, unless they do score. Parsons wandering will get some help and get it out. Maybe a 3-on-2 here on the part of the Flames. And now the other way, here comes Greg Chase by himself, 1-on-3 as his teammates are changing, so he'll just drop it back into his own zone. Mikael Agard, a solid check from Kyle Jenkins. After that great first chance, there's Parsons again. He's got to be careful. Scores! He wasn't careful enough. As Tyler Parsons has a tough time handling that puck, and Joey Bennett scores on the power play, and we're even at 1.
Yeah, and that is one that Tyler Parsons will be kicking himself about for quite a while, because he comes out to play it. We saw it on the last foray into the offensive zone for the Oilers. Parsons was a little dangerous with it, but that time, nice job by the Edmonton player to get in front of it to kind of disrupt things, as that was Chad Butcher who got his stick on the clearing attempt, and from there it kind of turned into the opportunity. You'll see it again. So Parsons out to play it. There's Butcher, disrupts things, and Bennett right there to make sure he pokes in one of the easier goals that he'll score. So power play goal ties this thing up. We've got a 1-1 tie almost after 20 minutes.
Yeah, Ryan Culkin tried to help out, but it ended up being lots of confusion there. So Joey Bennett has a 2-game goal-scoring streak on the part of the Edmonton Oilers.
And a cheering section, apparently.
Yeah, former Penticton V said he hadn't been back here for 2 years, and there's Tkachuk getting involved with Kyle Jenkins. Said he was, very happy to be back. Play with some great players here, and you move on to your college career, and you play in St. Cloud State, nowhere near Penticton, and so you don't get a chance to return until the Young Stars tournament.
Yeah, cool for Joey Bennett, who has been able to work his way into the Oilers organization. Started on an ATO, got himself an AHL deal, and second on that St. Cloud team in scoring in his senior year. And funny enough, there's Ryan Lomberg chirping again on the ice. He sure does do it well. He is a lot of fun to watch when he starts that motor mouth going.
Betker run into by Tuulola. There's Lomberg. Gets it ahead to A2. Tuulola, whose father played 25 years of pro hockey. Just retired in 2013, 2014. His son hopes to have half that long a career. Shot, Dylan Wells will make the save. Marco Tuulola played overseas in Finland and sometime in Sweden and Switzerland.
And there's his son, A2, who was a 6th-round pick of the Flames in this past draft, but then comes to their summer development camp right before the Stampede. And in the one scrimmage they played, lit things up. He was the star of that. Everybody was talking about him. And the one thing you notice about him, we just saw it on that shot there, he can shoot it. There's no doubt about that. He's going to Everett this year after spending all his time prior in Finland. He's going to play in the Western League this year with the Silvertips.
There's Mark Jankowski. Still the highest drafted ever Canadian high school hockey player. Didn't get taken in the OHL midget draft. He was only 5'8" at that time. Now he's 6'2", and we're at zeros when it comes to time left on the clock. A little pushing and shoving at the end. Colin Shirley is in there, Austin Carroll, Matthew Tkachuk, and a few others. So the temperature's starting to rise between Calgary and Edmonton in the first period, in the first installment of this year's version of the Battle of Alberta.
Shots 12-9 in favor of the Flames after 20 minutes of play, but pretty evenly played first period. The Flames had a little bit of sustained pressure there for a good 4 or 5 minutes. They kind of had them hemmed in, but the Oilers pushed back, and by the end of that opening frame, pretty good end-to-end action. I think both teams will be fairly happy with the way they played that opening 20 minutes.
Tyler Parsons from Detroit, Michigan.
Blocker save by Parsons. That is unreal.
Started playing ice hockey around age 10. The best part of where I grew up was going out to my cottage up in the upper part of Michigan. It's pretty fun, to get out and get away from the city and ride ATVs and do all that fun stuff. Earliest hockey memory, probably my first game on ice hockey, first time on skates. We played the best team in the league and ended up winning 3-2. So it's just one to always remember. The player I most admired growing up was Osgood. I actually named my cat after him, and just because he was on the Red Wings and that was my favorite team growing up. Favorite hockey memory so far has been winning the Memorial Cup. That was an unreal experience, and a great group of guys. So it's one never to forget. Besides hockey, my favorite sport would have to be baseball. I grew up playing that too, and I kind of had to make the choice between baseball and hockey. My favorite non-hockey athlete would probably be LeBron James. You know, he's just an all-around athlete, and it's awesome. You know, I don't really like basketball that much, but he's just an all-around athlete, and it's, you know, a guy to look up to. The best goal I've ever seen was probably the goal I scored. I didn't score it exactly, but the other team cycled the puck down, I got the puck, shot it up the glass. We took a penalty, so their goalie skated to the bench, and their guy got the puck, cycled it back down, and then shot it all the way down the ice and scored. So I kind of got credited with the goal, so it was a pretty cool experience. If I weren't a hockey player, I'd probably be in the Marines. You know, just family. Family has been in there, and, you know, Coast Guard. And you know, growing up, I always said if I didn't play sports, I'd be in the Marines. So that was one thing I was looking forward to. One thing people may not know about me is, you know, goalies are kind of weird, and you know, I'm not the typical goalie. You ask anyone I ever played with, they told me I'm pretty normal. So that's one thing you should know about me. Player I'd like to play against would probably be Jonathan Quick. You know, facing him up the other end would be pretty cool. You know, growing up, I kind of played similar to him, and I watched a lot of his games. So you know, that'd be pretty awesome getting a game against him. So my favorite TV show is probably Prison Break. You know, last season we were on the road a lot, and you know, a lot of the guys watched it, so we'd all get together and watch that, or The Bachelorette. Something on my bucket list is to go to Tahiti. I think that's an awesome place, and I'd love to go there one day.
Hi, I'm Matthew Tkachuk from St. Louis, Missouri.
Here comes Tkachuk. Wow, what a goal, and he scores!
I started playing hockey at the age of 3 in Scottsdale, Arizona. My earliest hockey memory would have to be watching my dad in warm-ups, because during his actual game, me and my brother would just like to play mini hockey in the wives' room. The player or players I most admired when I was younger would have to be obviously my dad, and David Backus and Lee Stepniak and Phil McRae, because they all lived in my house at one point, and I was their billet brother, I guess you could say, and just watching them throughout their careers when I was younger was pretty cool. My favorite hockey moment so far would either be winning the Memorial Cup or playing for Team USA at the World Juniors, and just being able to represent your country at such a highly touted event. My favorite non-hockey athletes, in order, 1 to 3, will be Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and LeBron James. The best goal I've ever seen, I've only seen it on video, but when Mike Eruzione scored to win the game against the Soviet Union in the 1980 Olympics. If I wasn't a hockey player, I'm going to be completely honest, I would have no idea what I would be. The player I'd most like to play against would be David Backus, just because he's obviously such a great player. And my favorite movie would have to be The Other Guys. And my 2 favorite TV shows are Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Friday Night Lights. The hardest thing I've ever had to do was put it in perspective and realize that my younger brother is taller than me now. If I could have one dinner, it'd be a pretty big dinner. I would have Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Kim Kardashian, JoJo Fletcher, and I guess we'll throw in Gigi Hadid.
Back inside the South Okanagan Events Center as the Oilers and Flames rookies duke it out to a 1-1 tie after the first period. Jim Johnson, assistant coach of the Oilers, joins us now. Jim, that seemed like a pretty feisty first period, a fortuitous bounce for Joey Bennick to tie things up. What did you notice in that first?
Well, I thought it was a real competitive first period, and I thought we were fortunate to get a goal at the end and come out of it with a tie after that first period. But I thought we'd like, with our group, we'd like to see a little bit more competitiveness. Right. I thought I saw that in Calgary from their guys, and they took the play to us a little bit more in that period than we'd liked. 2 periods to go, Jim. I want to ask you your role in this weekend, because Todd McClellan's not here, Jay Woodcroft's not here, Peter Chiarelli's not here, a bunch of the Oilers are not
going to be at camp when it starts up. Just what are you kind of doing right now here in Penticton, and then when camp starts to officially roll out, what's the role for you and Ian Herbers?
Well, obviously, right here, I'm just trying to get a pretty good idea of what we have for prospects, and then see what the other organizations have. See how our guys are lining up. See who looks most NHL ready, and we'll go from there. We'll talk about it a little bit. I actually like some of our players last night, and so far here tonight, there's a few that are standing out, and I think that's always good when you come to a young tournament, when they can compete against each other and kids their own age. And when you have a high skill level of a tournament like this, it's a good measuring stick for us to see where they are and where they're going and what guys have taken steps over the summer. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. And back at home, we're just getting ready for the season. But we've met since late August as a full staff with Jay and Todd, and we're all ready to go. Ian and I and Dusty are holding the ship up back in Edmonton. I'll be back there tomorrow.
As expected. Do you find yourself too focused on the D here, or are you kind of good at observing the forwards and the goaltending as well, because it is a different role for you right now?
I'd like to look at all teams and look at the high-level players and see who's, well, I think is closest ready to play in the National Hockey League. So obviously I took a look real close at our D yesterday and liked Neiman Lane, and I thought he played real well. Matt Benning had a real solid game, as did Jonesy. So I think, you know, as they get stronger and bigger, as they progress throughout their careers, they're going to be good hockey players. I think they have a potential to help us out some way, some time down the road, and that's what we're looking for right now. And I think Neiman Lane was a guy that I liked at prospect camp. He really stood out. He's a big guy that can skate well. He's got good patience with the puck, makes real good plays. So a guy that is only 198 pounds right now.
But he's 6 foot a million.
Yeah, but you know, you think about putting another 10, 15 pounds on that frame. I like what I see.
Okay, the future looks good in your eyes. How about the now, Jim? You got some new tools to work with on D. Adam Larson comes in. How are you going to utilize him? It's a new dynamic on the back end. Of course, a lot of people talk about the back end. That's your forte. How do you kind of observe that part of the team heading into this new season?
Well, I think we made a step in the right direction. We added Adam Larson, a big body, young guy that defends really well. I think his stick is elite. He's a real patient defender. I think there's an upside a little bit offensively for him there, but I think he's the type of guy that can go against any top player in the league. So you got him and Oscar Klefbom together. I think it's a pretty good pairing. Obviously,
you brushing up on your Swedish?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. We're living in the same building, so hopefully we can get up on that a little bit. But I think I like the direction we're going. We got Darnell Nurse, another year under his belt. He's put on some weight. He looks stronger. Brandon Davidson looks really lean, and he's ready to go. So with Andre Sekera coming back, Mark Fain, we've got some Griffin Reinhardt. We got some good players, some good prospects that are. I think we're young back there, but I think what if we can see the growth that we saw last year in some of our young guys, Tom, I like the future.
How much did that 1 year with the team help you guys, and how comfortable are you now that you've kind of settled into Edmonton and with the group?
Well, we're comfortable. Obviously, I think the players are more comfortable with us. We've started to develop those relationships that I think are so important into getting through the players, and now opening with the new rink, with the learning environment. I think that we have of our players, individual offices, or the theater room, areas that we can sit down and look at film, and I think the technology in the room is going to help us.
Jim, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for doing this. Safe travels back to Edmonton. Look forward to talking to you in the next few weeks here. From the Oilers' perspective on the back end to the Flames' perspective on D, we go to a profile on defenseman Oliver Chillington.
Hi, my name is Oliver Chillington from Stockholm, Sweden.
Pass finds Chillington. He shot! He scored!
I started playing hockey at the age of 5. My earliest hockey memory is winning under 16 in Sweden. We won the whole championship there, and it's a great memory. Playing with a lot of guys that I still know and still have contact with, so it was a great memory for me. The player I admired most when I grew up was Johnny Oduya. He's still a good mentor to me right now, and like an older brother, and I look up to him very much, and I listen to his advice and try to just be a good guy and listen and be gentle. My favorite hockey moment so far is making my NHL debut against Minnesota in Minnesota. That was an awesome day for me, and it's a good memory. My favorite sports beside hockey is soccer, I think. I like soccer a lot. I try to watch it as much as I can, so that's a good sport I like to follow. My favorite non-hockey athlete is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's a Swedish superstar soccer player. He is an offensive striker, so he scores a lot of goals. He has pretty good YouTube clips you can watch him score goals. So yeah, he's an unreal striker. If I weren't a hockey player, I would be probably soccer player, I think. One thing people may not know about me is that I'm a pretty good dancer. I have some moves in my backpack. So my favorite movie is Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I think my favorite TV series is The Entourage. Love that series, so that's my two favorites. The player I most like to play against would be, I think, Patrick Kane. I think he's a really skilled player and a cool player to watch, so I think it would be fun to play against him. If I could choose anyone as a dinner guest, I would choose Kendall Jenner.
Hi, I'm Rasmus Andersson from Malmö, Sweden.
Like back of the line, Andersson holding, shot scores! Rasmus Andersson.
I started playing hockey when I was probably around 3-4. I'm from a hockey family, so I started pretty early. The best part of with me growing up was probably just being home with my family and friends and just always having fun and always like doing new stuff with my buddies and just being home with my family, my mother, my little sister. My earliest hockey memory is probably when I was with my father when he played and just being in the dressing room along with all the other guys and just having fun after every game and during all the practices, just messing around in there. The player I most admired growing up was probably Erik Karlsson because I really enjoyed his offensive side and the way he skates, the way he just play hockey is just overall one of the best players in the world in my opinion. My favorite hockey memory so far is when I signed my NHL contract. Beside hockey, my definitely favorite sport is soccer, no doubt. My favorite non-hockey athlete is Cristiano Ronaldo because I'm a huge Real Madrid fan, so just love the way he plays. The best goal I've ever seen is Nicklas Lidström in Olympics 2006 when he scored a slap shot from the blue line and Mats Sundin and Peter Forsberg had an assist on it. If I weren't a hockey player, I would probably be a soccer player. One thing people may not know about me, it's 2 weeks ago, me and my buddies bought a motocross and we've been driving it for basically every day since we bought it and it's really fun. The player I would most like to play against is Erik Karlsson for sure. I just love the way he plays and he's one of my favorite defensemen. My favorite movie is The Choice. If I could have anyone for dinner, it would be Blake Lively, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
There's a shot from the line, knocked down, Monahan scores! Corner up front, Monahan scores! Sean Monahan picks up a bouncing puck in front, and he buries it. Hamilton, who springs Monahan on a breakaway, he shoots, he scores! Monahan, had a good night. Uses his body there to knock over Chris Terry. Giordano to Monahan, to Gaudreau, he spins, centers, and they score! Pass to Brody, 2-on-1 with Monahan. Brody works it in, tries up front to Monahan, scores! Sean Monahan wins it in overtime. Giordano up front, tipped on goal, they score!
Gaudreau, nice speed. Hamilton shoots, rebound, Gaudreau, oh, they score! Bouncing puck tapped in by Sean Monahan.
The shot of the traffic, rebound, Monahan scores! E.J. Brody, Johnny Gaudreau, Monahan scores! And Monahan picks it up, steps shoots and scores!
Flames and Oilers tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. Andrew Mangiapane's certainly made his presence felt so far in the first period as the Flames and Oilers both get their way back onto the ice. Young Stars Classic continues from Penticton, British Columbia. My name is Pat Steinberg alongside Gene Principe, and today's presentation of the Young Stars Classic Battle of Alberta is brought to you by Century Downs. Come for the action, stay for the fun. It's Calgary's newest entertainment destination, online at CenturyDowns.com. Take a look at what happened in period number 1. This was Matthew Tkachuk does a nice job. Starts the cycle, goes to the net, and then look at this pass from Mark Jankowski behind the net. Austin Carroll takes the initial shot, and Matthew Tkachuk follows up on it to make it 1-0 in favor of the Flames. And then an unfortunate play for Tyler Parsons between the pipes, and a fortunate play for Joey Bennick of the Oilers to tie the game on the power play. And then, Gino, the Battle of Alberta started heating up. We're going to see these teams play to kick off the preseason, a home-and-home to kick off the regular season. And yeah, things got a little rough in period number 1. We're wondering if maybe this carries over to the middle frame.
Sorry, I'm a little late. I was talking to Glenn Gulletson, and I kind of felt rude leaving. We were going over the 6 of 30 NHL head coaches from Saskatchewan, and we were stuck on the 6th.
Did you get him?
No. That's why I finally had to leave. So we were at...
Nobody would have noticed you were gone.
Yeah, well, they didn't. You were doing fine.
I mean,
it's like when you do your
play
show
started, people
sometimes.
would have been like, oh, where's the pro?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're back now, so we're good.
All right, is Hunter Smith back? We'll have to see. I know we were sort of watching the medical developments for Hunter Smith as he got a big boo-boo in a bad spot.
He is sitting on the bench right now.
Okay, well, that's a good sign. So just nicely underway, period number 2. There's a look at Mark Jankowski. Whistled on the offside. I was looking at Mark Jankowski. He is from a hockey family. His grandfather Lou played Detroit and Chicago. Great uncle is Red Kelly. His dad played at Cornell. His dad is Len. And his uncle Ryan is a scout with Montreal.
Yeah, and was for the longest time. Ryan Jankowski was involved with Hockey Canada for quite some time.
I remember that as well.
As one of their top scouts. Yeah, that is quite the hockey family, hey? He added a national title to that hockey family at Providence College. Not this past year, but in 2015. He and John Gillies of the Flames won that title.
It's an incredible story considering in Canada you don't normally get drafted out of high school hockey. Not every province has high school hockey. That's more of an American thing. But he ended up going to Stansted College in Quebec for those 2 seasons. And there's a lot of pressure on these kids when you're drafted in the first round. I know that coming from Edmonton, but here he is, 22, and his time is coming. I felt
bad for him because, look, when Mark Jankowski was selected 21st overall in 2012, a lot of people didn't know who he was, and it was somewhat controversial in some circles, and he had to hear all that stuff. And he's turned himself into a pretty solid hockey player, and final 2 years at Providence in the NCAA really turned into one of the nation's top two-way centers, which is never a bad thing if you're an NHL organization. A lot of people think that not only does he got an opportunity to make some noise at training camp, but maybe make his NHL debut at some point this year.
And he had a helping hand in more ways than one in that opening goal. So we look to see what Mark Jankowski does, as he was Greg Chase trying to come in all alone, a draft pick from the former regime of the Calgary Flames.
Well, and right there, we talked in the first period about kind of the risk reward of Oliver Shillington. Well, Greg Chase, the former member of the Calgary Hitmen, almost burnt the NHL team that owns his former junior team. And that's because Shillington was up in the play. He was way up near the offensive blue line, used his skating to get all the way back, but almost found himself out of position. He broke up that breakaway pass at the last possible second. So didn't end up being too risky that time, but you can see the line that number 58 in red walks.
Hunter Smith is on the ice. Braden Burke has that stripped away. One of the 6'7" blue liners on the part of the Calgary Flames, Stepan Falkovsky.
They only have 3 6'7" blue liners at this.
That is a big team, especially if they all make it to the NHL. Smith, a front tip. Oh, it's waved off. It got by Dylan Wells, but didn't get by the post as the Flames were inches away from a 2-1 lead. Here come the Oilers. Irving the shot. And the big save by Parsons. Wrist shot, that doesn't get through. Chances at both ends of the ice. Jaden Deschanel with Falkovsky. It gets back to the point. There's Irving. Wrist shot, deflected. Parsons was there, just in case. Matthew Benning will dump it back in as he's bumped into by Hunter Smith. It's wrapped out front. No one can get to it from the Oilers. Caleb Jones, shot by Benning. And that's blocked by Falkovsky.
Nice shift here by the Oilers. After the Flames almost scored, they've come right back with a really nice shift. And it continues.
And finally, that'll get pushed out by Braden Burke. And here come the Oilers again. Falkovsky hasn't had a chance to get off the ice. Bouncing puck, shot goes wide. Caleb Jones is there, not afraid to get involved offensively as he narrowly avoids a hit by Kenny Morrison. And now here come the Flames. Dubé trying to go wide. Does. Back to the point it goes. Shot by Culkin. Is blocked by Sousson. Oilers recover. Butcher falls. So he's knocked down by Phillips. And the Flames recover as plays a bit scrambly end to end. Each team with some chances. And now it's a 2-on-1. Butcher and Bennick. Oh, nice defensive play. Bennick does retrieve it. Russell. Shot saved by Parsons. As the original chance on the 2-on-1 didn't develop, but Russell still with a very good opportunity.
Yeah, it was Rasmus Andersson who stepped up on the play, and that was what created the 2-on-1 because he got caught a little bit, and the Oilers, with odd man, almost take their first lead of this game.
Pollock can't quite reach that, and it'll be icing on the Flames as we're just about 5 minutes into period number 2, and that was the best chance for either club.
Let's see what happened on this play that we thought was in. Here's the Hunter Smith shot, and did it hit the crossbar? Go pinballs? Yeah, hit the crossbar kind of right in the corner and beat the Oilers goaltender, but doesn't beat a couple of the posts, and then right back the other way. Here's that odd man situation, and Tyler Parsons had to be right along the ground to make sure that didn't get underneath him. So post helps one team on one end, and Tyler Parsons makes a nice stop at the other.
Nice recovery by Parsons. I would suggest that when you're a recent draft pick and you have that botched play, might throw you off, but I guess you don't win the MasterCard Memorial Cup by being mentally weak. So he's recovered quite nicely here on the part of the Flames.
A solid game so far for Wells on the other end for the Oilers. He's made some big stops, been very steady.
Jankowski gets it out front, and Carroll just tips it wide. Little back heel as this threesome with Tkachuk, Carroll, and Jankowski continues to be a problem. Shillington, nice defensive play, thwarted 2 attempts by Chase and Platzer to get the puck past him. Shillington jumps into the play and gets hit hard, and he's down. Christopher with the hit. Shillington behind the play. 3-on-1. Chase waits. Over to Platzer, shoots, and a post at that end. Matthew Benning follows it up. Shot, oh, what a save by Parsons. 2 stops. Platzer can't get it to go by Parsons. Chances all around Tyler Parsons, but no goal on the part of the Oilers.
Well, and Parsons had to be huge there because the Flames were playing a man down because Shillington was decked, and I really want to see how that hit transpired and led to everything else because the Flames, because Shillington was so slow to get off the ice, Flames were, here's what happens, here's the hit, and I think it was Christopher got him in the chest, so I think that he was able to get him with a clean hit on the one look, and here's Parsons who really goes to work, makes the one step, look at him scramble and make this second stop. I wouldn't mind getting one more look at the Oliver Shillington play just because it looked like Braden Christopher got him with a clean check to the chest to begin with. Here's the stop. That's a great stop by Tyler Parsons. He knew he was down and out. And then the scrum ensues afterwards.
Is Tkachuk.
Yeah, Tkachuk was right in the middle as well.
And there's Shillington heading to the dressing room, so that's not a good sign. He looks like he's okay, maybe just winded, but there is still just under 15 minutes to play in the second period.
Okay, we're going to get another look at it here. So on that look, it looks like it was just a nice clean check, kind of to the solar plexus, caught him looking a little bit. Big hard hit from Braden Christopher, but don't see anything wrong with that. We'll see if Shillington comes back at some point, but he was certainly rattled by that one. On the one look, looked just fine to me.
And Matthew Tkachuk had 16 penalty minutes last night. He's got 4.
So something must have happened in that scrum.
Got involved with Christopher a little bit. Now that will not make the Flames happy, I don't think. Joey Bennick out front in the slot as the lone goal on the part of the Oilers. So Edmonton in no rush right now with their power play. Butcher, Jenkins, shot, saved by Parsons, rebound. Parsons is there. Butcher. Kenny Morrison, good play by Morrison. He'll send that down the ice. We'll have to find out about Tkachuk.
The penalty was for spearing, 4 minutes for spearing. So something must have happened that we didn't catch in that scrum. Let's see if we can track it down at all.
We saw the little slash to Christopher. I would assume it was after that, but hey, there's no better crew to try and find a replay. Whoa, Dylan Wells. Miscommunication in the first period with Tyler Parsons and Ryan Culkin, and they're almost another example of that is Wells and Kyle Jenkins just weren't sure who was supposed to take that.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, the Oilers on a 4-minute power play here, 3:02 remaining in here. Let's see if we can catch what happens in this scrum. So Matthew Tkachuk at the left of your screen.
There it is
right there.
On Christopher.
Yeah, and the referee saw it right there too. So that's why Tkachuk's, there it is. I think that might have been it too. You saw it right there. I think it's the second one.
The first one wasn't that much.
Yeah, the second one is the one the referee caught. So 4 for spearing. See, they are a good replay crew.
I told you.
In the business. I didn't believe you before that. Just kidding. I knew that all along. Well done, Andy. That was outstanding.
Oh, now he's mentioning names where before he had no faith in you guys. Yeah, Steinberg.
That's how I roll.
Platzer, shot saved by Parsons. But I'm going to ask you, if you're Brad Treliving and you're watching Matthew Tkachuk tonight, what are you thinking?
I think that you're thinking once he gets to the NHL, he's probably going to have to dial it back a bit. The other thing is, it's not easy to be that guy every single night over 82 games. So I think that you're also at the same time, okay, if you're going to be physical and if you're going to be that pain in the butt to play against in this event, that's great. That's the first 2 games. Can you do it in February, right?
Well, the Oilers are trying to do it now in September when it comes to taking a lead. They've certainly taken the lead with shots 18-12. And Caleb Jones, nice little stick work there as he steps around Jankowski. Jones trying to get it to Platzer. Instead, it's off to Chase. Jones has got it back. Chase waiting. Doesn't get the chance to shoot it. Jones does. Chase cross ice shot. That gets stopped as Ben Betker's opportunity doesn't get through. And Dylan Wells almost had to play that a little like a shortstop as it bounced on him. But he had his body and chest protector behind it.
Not a great change there by the Oilers, and it looks like another penalty coming up to the Flames. Austin Carroll just Chad Butcher, who's down, and it looks like he caught him from behind. So Austin Carroll's going to take a seat, and for the next minute 49, Gene, the Oilers are going to go on a 5-on-3 because Carroll's going to take his seat as well. So Tkachuk, who is already sitting down for the spearing penalty, and now Carroll. And we'll see what this ends up being. Good to see Butcher standing up. He's going to skate on his own volition back to the bench, but that is not
bleeding. Yeah,
he's
cut by the visor or straight by the boards.
That looks like it's the visor.
Let's see. That's the boards.
You might be right.
Yeah, that's the dasher, I think. I will say this to defend Austin Carroll a bit. It didn't look like,
it was a quick turn. There's definitely no intent. Yeah. But at the same time, you got to call that. It's 2 minutes on the board. I think it's the right call to give him 2 minutes.
There's been many blood spilled in the Battle of Alberta. So
just another chapter.
It's a badge of honor for Chad Butcher. He'll get taken care of. He looks no worse for wear. And so the Oilers have lots of time. with a two-man advantage to see if they can take the lead as things are starting to ratchet up offensively. Or they're hoping. Jones has his shot blocked. Nice play by the Flames, and Jankowski will get it out. Roman Dykov with good stick work there. But it is only 2 for Carroll. Patrick Russell just dumping around the boards. Jones and Benning have been, for the most part, the defensemen on the power play. Matthew Benning to Jones, the shot, and Parsons comes across. Rebound out front. Sent wide by Russell. Nobody was there. Benning waiting. Jones again, the shot. And that's deflected by Russell, up and out of play. So the Oilers maybe need to get a little more creative. Yeah. Because that's a couple straight chances, kind of the same shot, and Parsons appears to have it covered.
And Parsons didn't really have to see through any bodies in front either. The London Knights goaltender able to see. Look, he's able to see that Caleb Jones shot straight on. Nice play to put it back towards the middle, but nobody there. And good to see Oliver Shillington come back on the ice. And there's the second one. Parsons again square to it, and then it goes out of play. But Shillington is back. He rejoins the bench, and that's good news for the Flames after he took that hit from Braden Christopher.
So about halfway through of this two-man disadvantage for Calgary, and so far they've done a nice job. Greg Chase, Platzer, 4-goal performance last year at the Young Stars tournament. Chase, wrist shot up high. Parsons makes the stop. Rebound, Platzer at the side of the net, but Parsons was there. Irving keeps it in. Anderson just kind of waving his stick around. Dubé is out as well. And there's Irving. Switch sides with Jenkins. Cross ice, that's a nice seam pass. But Platzer not able to control. Now we'll shoot it, and that goes up high over Parsons, and that will almost do it. As it won't be very long before Matthew Tkachuk is out of the penalty box. In fact, he's out now. 10 seconds left in the Austin Carroll penalty. And that goes up and over Tyler Parsons. And if this will be the end of Tyler Parsons for this period, is a round of applause for the Flames.
Yeah, he did.
At the end of this game, he'll be happy with the way things are finishing.
If you're watching as an Oilers fan, I wouldn't be too critical of the 5-on-3 power play. I mean, it's the second game that these guys have played ever together. They've worked on special teams virtually not at all. So pretty basic 5-on-3, and you kind of saw that. Not a lot of creativity, but it's because they really haven't practiced anything at this point. Just kind of going on instincts on that 5-on-3. Had a couple of decent looks, but nothing really huge in terms of scoring opportunities.
They're happy to know each other's names at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the coaching staff has had a couple of practices, and you're just working on basics right now. You're not really doing any fine-tuning on power plays.
Volkovsky, nice work. Fending off some pressure. Well, Morrison, the spinorama at the blue line. The shot goes off the skate of Susto. There's Hunter Smith sending it back behind Dylan Wells. Smith and Thomas Foster. And here comes Agard. There's Shillington back on the ice. That's a good sign. Shillington shoots, saved by Wells. Rebound! Comes back out front, so Oliver Shillington looks like he's fine. Boy, can he skate. Holy moly.
And there he is, back in the defensive zone. He was just down at the other end.
There's Lomberg. Shot by Shillington. Rebound. Another chance. Wells doesn't have to make the stop there. Tuola had that good opportunity on the rebound. Wasn't able to get it past Wells. And we passed the halfway point of period 2. We're still 1-1. Physical play continues. So do the chances, mostly for the Oilers. Mangiapane has got it. Shoots, and that may have gone off Wells' mask. But he made the save. There's Lomberg in the corner, fighting off Matthew Benning. Shirley will just slide that in. Big hit along the boards, and that takes kind of a bad bounce as Austin Carroll might have had a chance That goes into the penalty box, and we go into the community, a beautiful community of Penticton, BC, the host of the Young Stars tournament since 2010. But first, let's sort out the penalty situation. As Ryan Culkin is now in the penalty box. It's been a steady stream.
It was a late penalty, so it kind of screwed everything up. Yeah, Ryan Culkin takes a late penalty, so another power play opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll get the timeout after that. So they have made a goaltending change. The Flames have swapped out Tyler Parsons, and in comes Mason McDonald. Okay, watch this shift from Oliver Shillington. There he is at one end of the ice, makes a couple of plays there, goes all the way down the ice, breaks up a defensive play, then sets up another opportunity that way. Oliver Shillington goes both ends. There's no doubt about it. There's Mason McDonald taking some shots from Rasmus Anderson. So McDonald gets his first work in the tournament. Tyler Parsons does his job, allows the 1 goal on 20 shots. And now Mason McDonald will jump in and play the rest of this game between the pipes. The Charlottetown Islanders product and 2 second-round picks. Tyler Parsons, second-round pick in 2016. Mason McDonald, second-round pick in 2014. There's his numbers from last year. Also represented Team Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championships. So his first chance to work here in the Young Stars Classic.
And first goalie taken in the 2014 draft, is that correct?
Yes, it went Mason McDonald, and then a couple picks after Thatcher Demko, who's also at this tournament with the Vancouver Canucks. He went a couple picks after McDonald.
And Tyler Parsons now nestled on the bench, and I think he can, big sigh of relief for him. First opportunity to really impress the Flames, and I think he did well.
Well, the Oilers have owned this period thanks partly in part to some power play time, but they've also got the job done 5-on-5 shots, 12-3 in favor of the Oilers as we've got just over 8 minutes to go in period number 2. Flames have the edge after one period, 12-9, but the Oilers had the extended 5-on-3. They had some nice time 5-on-5. They're about to go back to another power play here, and they've turned the shot edge fairly dramatically in their favor. So
Parsons a better night than afternoon for his favorite goalie, who says Jonathan Quick. That was not, I think, what many expected at the World Cup of Hockey, the way things went for the Americans this afternoon. A little more what we expected tonight, as seen on Sportsnet. It was, that's what Canadians should be doing after the way Sidney Crosby and company thumped the Czech Republic. Tomorrow we'll get a chance to see Team North America. We would have seen Sean Monahan on Team North America, but
we'll see Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I believe he played here last year.
He did, one game.
And it was jammed in this building for that one game.
Jaden Deschanel will get it to Joey Bennick. Bennick scores! Oh boy, Joey Bennick goes up high on Mason McDonald. First shot against McDonald. First goal against him. Second on the night for Bennick, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, and that, I like this story of Joey Bennick. Comes from college, ATO, AHL contract, takes the pass from Jaden Deschanel, and he goes up high. Bad angle. I think Mason McDonald would probably like that one back, but at the same time, nice shot from Joey Bennick. Hey, this guy's got a scoring touch. He was second on his team in St. Cloud in the NCAA. That's a really good program, and he's able to pop the twine there. A little bit too much room maybe for Mason McDonald to leave him, but if you're going to leave it there, Bennick's going to hit the corner. Nice pass from the former member of the Kootenay Ice, Jaden Deschanel, as well, and now a penalty off the ensuing faceoff.
This one, I think, it's against you. Craig Chase has already gone in.
Yeah.
He didn't even wait for anything. He just went straight to the penalty box.
So right after the Oilers take the lead, Chase takes a hooking call, and the Flames go right back to the power play. So just like that, some more special teams time. And we may not get the Penticton commercial in because penalties just keep on happening.
It's Penticton.
I would like to see it. Some good camera work.
I liked it so much I came here on my family holidays. Shillington drops it to Morrison. They work it around to the Flames. Finally, they're feeling like, we get a power play chance. After it was all Oilers. Shot. Dylan Wells will make the stop. He doesn't know where the puck is, but Betker will slap it away. Shillington again, the wrist shot. Betker will block that. Brayton Christopher can't quite get it out. Dylan Dubé has it. The Flames working it around nicely. Andrew Mangiapane is there as well. Matthew Phillips, Shillington, and Morrison. Morrison wants it back, won't get it yet. Mangiapane to Morrison, shoots up high. That goes wide of Wells. Christopher wraps it around the boards, but Mangiapane will keep it in. Phillips got a bad first touch, and it still isn't out. Shillington's got it. Fights off Christopher. Tips it ahead, and he will not be able to keep it in this time.
Did some really nice work to keep it in, get it to a teammate, then wasn't able to keep it in a second time.
Flames had it in for over a minute. There's only 40 seconds left on the power play. Morrison continues to stay, as does Shillington on the blue line. There's Dubé. Wrist shot just off the outside of the post, but it looked like Wells was there. That's going to be interference, I'm guessing, on Betker. And then Morrison getting involved, because they didn't like it. There's Austin Carroll and Betker. Does that happen on Matthew Tkachuk?
Yep.
So that takes the level of importance up a little bit more.
And that's another example of what Matthew Tkachuk can do to you. We've already seen him spend 4 minutes in the penalty box on the spearing call, and here he is getting the go to Betker. And Tkachuk just, and this is, he knew who he was targeting. Betker knew exactly who that was. Tkachuk's gotten under their skin already. So that's kind of the good and bad of Matthew Tkachuk. A spear in a scrum, that's the bad. Gives a 4-minute power play to the Oilers. Getting under the skin of the Oilers, drawing a penalty, that's the good. That's exactly what Matthew Tkachuk did right there. Look, the guy knows what he's doing, and he straddles that line. He straddled it the entire Young Stars Classic event to this point. And as he's directing traffic on the power play right now, as he straddles the line, sometimes he'll go over it, but sometimes it'll help his team too, like it has here.
And luckily he's fine. That was dangerous going in feet first into the boards. Anderson. So it's a 5-on-3 now for the Flames. A shot, and that goes wide. Shortened. 5-on-3, already down to 15 seconds, started at 30. Great effort there by Foster. That doesn't go out. Well, it does. It's delayed offside. The Oilers thought they had sent it down the ice. Now they do, and that will do it for Greg Chase, who's waving to say, am I on or am I off? And he will get on and then get off. So it's a 5-on-4 now. And jumping into the play is Matthew Benning, and so the Oilers penalty kill goes to work after it was a lot of work on the part of the Flames. PK. There's Tkachuk still on the ice. He gets taken down by Benning, and out goes the puck. His father Keith, 538 goals, 313 at even strength, 212 on the power play, and 13 shorthanded. Add it all up, and I hope that's 538.
Sounds right. You already proved your math skills.
Shot from the point doesn't get through. Oh, Dylan Wells lost his mask as he's involved as well. In jumps Benning. As there's, oh, it's Matthew Tkachuk, and then he takes a stick to the chops from Matthew Benning. And is there a penalty on the play? I don't see a referee's arm up.
I'm not sure what happened with Wells. Was he getting into it with Tkachuk behind the play?
And now Benning is headed to the penalty box, but I never did see an arm go up. But it was a pretty obvious, high stick right to the face of Matthew Tkachuk. I'm tired just talking about everything he's doing.
Oh, like he's in the middle of everything. We played almost 100 minutes of Flames hockey so far at this Young Stars Classic, and he's been in the middle of everything. So here's him involved with the goaltender. And I'm not sure if he, there's the high stick. That one's pretty easy to call. I'm not sure if Tkachuk had anything to do with Wells losing his mask there, but I certainly know that Benning came in and got a stick right to the chops, and that was a pretty easy one to call. And you just saw Betker, who's the captain of the team, talking to the referee right now. But timeout called by the Flames. They've got a 40-second 5-on-3 coming here.
See if we have time. Do we have time for Penticton tourism? We don't? No, we don't. Okay, we're just, it's like a tease, eh? We're just going to keep talking about it all night.
At some point we'll get to it.
Yeah. Well, it's Penticton. It's beautiful.
It's a 2-minute beautiful scenic shot of Penticton. We want to get it in.
45-minute drive from Kelowna. Mountains, water, casinos.
It is one of the most scenic drives that you're going to find.
Oh,
like, it
beautiful.
Is awesome. So they're going to have Tkachuk on the bench. They're going to change up their power play unit in 40 seconds of 5-on-3 here.
It's been special teams for both teams. Shillington with Morrison. There's Carroll out front looking, waiting, doesn't get it. Morrison does. Mangiapane also out. They switch sides. Now Morrison, the shot. Oh, he ripped it, but he ripped it wide. Dylan Dubé on as well. Shillington to Dubé. Back to Morrison. He defers to Mangiapane. Carroll just like licking his lips out front for something. Shot, and that's blocked. Mangiapane the shot. Wells will make the stop as Austin Carroll looking for the rebound. And the 5-on-3 now down to a 5-on-4. 1:19 left for Dylan Wells and the Oilers when it comes to being shorthanded.
Ben Becker out of the box, and here's Mangiapane who gets the opportunity off the shot. So Morrison will tee it in there. It comes to Mangiapane, and it took just an extra second to try and corral that, or usually that's off his stick like a rocket. Instead, he had to settle it down. That allowed Wells to get over an extra split second. He makes a nice stop. Now a $1:19 to go on the Benning penalty, and it's 5-on-4.
There's Hunter Smith, who will likely work his way to the front of the net once the Flames have control of this. Tkachuk back on. There's Anderson, Rasmus Anderson. They work it out front. Shot by Smith. Doesn't get it the first time. Does the second. And Wells is able to make the stop. And then Smith with a little shot to the face as well for Aaron Irving.
Good little three-way passing play, and Smith right there almost was able to finish it off. Didn't get everything he wanted on the shot, but it was Jankowski down low to Tkachuk, and then Hunter Smith had the opportunity. Here it is. So Rasmus Anderson finds Jankowski there. No look to Tkachuk, and then right back he finds Hunter Smith. But I got to say, you know, Mark Jankowski hasn't been involved in a lot of the after-the-whistle stuff. Man, does he make things work when he starts passing it around.
Culkin the shot deflects wide. Wells wasn't sure where it went. Culkin's got it again. Jankowski, nice pass. Trying to work it out front. Wells makes a stop. They bang away at it. Smith was there, but Wells is able to hold on and get that puck underneath his pad.
That's two really strong goaltending performances in a row from the Edmonton Oilers. Last night, Nick Ellis, who knows John Gillies of the Calgary Flames. They were teammates at Providence. And now it's Dylan Wells who's having himself a really nice night. And here's a nice stop. Kicks the pad out to make sure that pass doesn't get across. And for a 5th-round pick, I mean, you had Jamie Phillips, a 7th-round pick for the Jets last night. Looked really good. 5th-round pick here in Dylan Wells. He's looking really, really strong. And the Oilers have got to be pretty happy about what they're seeing here.
Wells found out yesterday that he would be starting tonight. The first person he texted was his mother. And she texted him right back, but he went for his pregame nap. And she kept texting him, like, how come you're not responding?
Where
and then
are you?
when he woke up from his nap, he finally got back to his mom. So it's an exciting time for the entire Wells family. And they'll likely get to see more action for their son, because a delayed penalty coming to the Edmonton Oilers. And now it's Cale Dotzel and Hunter Smith. Dotzel and Smith, the size advantage to Smith. He's got the right hand loose. Dotzel with the right hand as well. Oh, he's knocked him a couple of times. Dotzel sticking in there, still throwing the right. Now he's just to the left. Down goes Smith. Dotzel ends up on Hunter Smith, and a great scrap on the part of the Oiler and the Flame.
That was pretty impressive. Dotzel giving up a ton in terms of size to Hunter Smith, but that didn't really matter when it was all said and done when they squared off. And what's interesting is what kind of teed this off is Matthew Tkachuk was dumped in the corner. That was what led to the delayed penalty. So the Flames are going to go back to the power play in 13 seconds. Rather, they're going to go back to it right now because they're still on the power play. But Matthew Tkachuk was dumped in the corner. Then the fight you just saw. Let's take a look at the kind of transition. So here's Tkachuk behind the net. And he takes a big hit there. Oh, it was Dotzel as well who got him. So Cale Dotzel hits him, and then Hunter Smith sticks up for his teammate. So Dotzel got Tkachuk up high, took the penalty, and then drops the gloves with Hunter Smith, and that was a pretty even tilt.
Well, I got to admit, if you look at the numbers here, Dotzel 6'3", 201, and there was a left by Smith, but then finished with the right by Dotzel. He only had 58 penalty minutes in 58 games last year for Red Deer, so not really a pugilist. As for Hunter Smith, 6'7", 225. So I would give it to Dotzel by a bit just at the end. That was a spirited scrap.
Absolutely.
it's not Thursday, but it felt like Throwback Thursday. Back to the 80s. We saw a number of those with Jim Poplinski, Marty McSorley, Tim Hunter, Dave Semenko, and on we go. Joel Otto. I mean, oh my goodness. If this Battle of Alberta ever gets to half of what it used to be 30 years ago,
it's getting there, Gino. It's getting there.
Yeah, it will. It will.
I mean, I know that things have not been great in either city. One playoff appearance between them in the last 7 years, and it has not been outstanding in recent years, but with the young group of talent that both teams have been able to assemble here, I think that we're looking for that renewal in the very near future. So as Dotso goes to the dressing room, Jaden Descheno is going to take his spot in the penalty box. We've got 13 seconds left, 5-on-3, and then continued power play time. Gene, we may not get the Penticton video in.
But let me be honest with you. It's a fantastic place to go. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll make sure they stop for us at some point. Shillington at the point. Shot. Wells to save. Rebound out front. Oh, boy, it was a nice little touch by Phillips, but Dubé couldn't quite get a hold of it. And that will just sneak out as we're under 3 minutes to play. 23 shots for Calgary, 22 for Edmonton, 2 goals for the Oilers, 1 for the Flames. This game has been about as even as that fight. But Cale Dotso just had his stock rise in front of the Oilers brass who are here watching. Peter Chiarelli maybe and Todd McClellan have, well, they're busy, shall we say, with Team North America, but if they haven't seen it, they'll hear about it.
Well, and I hate to sound like a broken record, we both do, but who was right in the middle of it again? It was, who was the guy that Dotso hit that then Hunter Smith went after him for? It was Matt Tkachuk once again.
Yeah, he's got his fingerprints all over this game tonight. Flames slowing things down here. Dubé, Shillington. Cross to Morrison. Shillington's got it back. Phillips, cross, almost got it back. And the Oilers, with a little bit of luck on their side and a nice clearing attempt, are able to get it down the ice. 18 seconds left now in the extra minor. To Cale Dotso, served by Jaden Descheno.
Some nice creativity there for the Flames. Not a lot of creativity we've seen in this tournament on the power play. That was some of it right there, though.
Matthew Tkachuk has got it back. Soft pass, shot by Rasmussen, and that goes wide. And now Deschenau's out, long lead pass. Bennick with Descheno. Also some help from Lane Bauer, but good defensive work. And back the other way is Mark Jankowski, who you've spoken of. Good in his own zone there. Austin Carroll couldn't quite corral that puck. And so the Oilers avoid the trouble of those back-to-back 5-on-3s. Under a minute to go, looking for the long lead pass again. Caleb Jones intercepts over to Benning. Shoots and the save by McDonald. I think that might be only his second shot. It's been pretty quiet for him. Christopher out front. It almost got a little louder there as Greg Chase would have had a great opportunity if he could have corralled that puck. Benning to Chase. Kicked in, delayed offside. Braden Burke. Well, some of these players for the Flames haven't had much of a chance to play.
All special teams for the last 10 minutes of this period.
Chase the shot, not this time, says McDonald, as that's the way Bennick scored from the other side. And we are down to the final seconds of this period. And there goes the horn. In period number 2, we had lots of everything. Lots of shots on goal, lots of hits, one fight, one goal, and lots of entertainment in period 2 of the Battle of Alberta, which sees the Oilers lead the Flames by 1 through 40 minutes of play, Pat.
Shots 14-11 in favor of Edmonton in that second period. So Oilers were really controlling the first 10 minutes or so. Then there was all kinds of 5-on-3 time for Calgary that kind of shifted the balance of the shots back the other way. So it's been a pretty even game. Shots are even 23 all after 40 minutes of play. 2-1 the Oilers lead. Joey Bennick's got both goals for them. And right now I think we're shaping up for a pretty entertaining final 20 minutes if the first 2 periods are any indication from the South Okanagan Event Center here in Penticton.
Would you mind taking one with myself? Oh, there's Kevin Lowe. Oh, awesome. We get to meet Kevin Lowe. Hi, Colleen McGregor.
Great to meet you.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here? Hi there. How are you? I'm Kevin.
Yes. We know you. We were there the night they signed you from where? Quebec?
I came from Quebec, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm heading over that way. Is that where you're going right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll walk with you guys if that's okay.
Sure.
Hello, thank you for calling Rogers Place. Zach speaking. I'm all booked up for the 22nd, correct. What are the dates? Yeah, let me check here. I'll put you on hold, thank you. Hi guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How may I help you?
We're coming here to get our tickets.
Your tickets?
Yeah.
With last name, please.
McGregor.
McGregor, let me grab them. Look here for a sec. I believe this is you guys. Nice to meet you.
Yes, Colleen McGregor.
I'm Zach Cassian from the Oilers.
Awesome.
How are you?
Awesome, what a thrill
Nice
to meet you.
guys. I'm excited for the tour just as much as you guys are.
Oh, you're just getting...
Yeah, I haven't seen much.
Yeah.
It'll be a first for me too. Can't believe how big the entrance is.
Yes,
right?
I know. Oh, there's so much more room.
Right?
Yeah. It's great.
You guys want a hot dog? On me. You want a hot dog? So who's your favorite player all time on the Oilers?
You
guys
are.
used to watch me? Oh, you guys are too nice. Too nice.
Oh, well, with the Stanley Cups, it's hard to say.
Right.
We saw so many good players then.
I bet, right?
But now we're moving on.
Where'd you guys sit in the old rink?
Right behind the penalty box.
Okay.
Just up in the Blues, second row.
Okay, so you saw me in there last year.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, you were pretty hot.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Did you always?
How you guys doing? Good. I'm Oscar.
I'm pleased to meet you,
Number
Colleen.
77.
Hi.
Oscar,
What
nice
a
to meet you.
thrill.
You look good, eh?
Vintage sweater.
Oh yeah. How'd you like the new place?
It's beautiful.
Good. Let me show you your seats.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Is this good?
Oh, yes. Because never had handles. This is going to be great for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need help?
No, she's good. Oh, these are going to be great seats. This is just as great. Yeah, we got good seats.
Hello, Adam. Hello, Colleen. I'm Tom Gazzola from Oilers TV. Welcome to your new home. We hope you love Rogers Place as much as we do. It's a beautiful building. We're very excited. We hope you are too. I also hope that your tour guides are taking very good care of you. Oscar and Zach, please take care of these ladies. They're very special. We also wanted to do one other thing. We thought it'd be neat if you two helped break in this massive, beautiful, magnificent scoreboard. It's the biggest in the league. Enjoy.
Nice little movie.
This is exciting. In Rogers Place now. I suppose Gretzky is always in everyone's heart, but their lineup was so great. It was just wonderful watching them. You could feel the vibration in the Coliseum when you went to a game.
In fact, Mark Mache got my husband and I tickets to go to the Vancouver game because they were sold out. And I guess he had the tickets and he had two for us. So he was always a favorite of mine.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that was thrilling. We were the first ones on here. This is really a thrill.
Nice. So I heard you.
Thank you very much.
For like
How's it going?
Hi.
I'm Darnell.
Glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you
This
too.
is really a thrill. Get to meet all these Oilers.
How are your tour guides? Good? Not too bad? They've been helping you out?
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, they've been all right?
Oh, yeah, it's been wonderful.
Not sure where we're supposed to. I think this way. We're gonna go this way, take a picture in front of the doors. So, I guess I have to lead the way, but I don't know where I'm going either, so we're all just going to figure it out.
You guys are all so tall.
Yeah, you're leading us out.
You send your Cam Talbot.
You gotta lead us out.
First star of the game. Line up, here we go. We need you guys tonight. We need you two. Big 2 points here.
Really appreciate you being a loyal fan.
Yeah, you sure take care of your fans.
Well, you guys take care of us, so thank you for that.
I could do this for sure as a day job. I bet you my back would hold up great too doing this.
Thank you.
It seems loose, no?
Well, hey, don't mind a little give, eh?
Yes, thank you. Have a great day. And thank you for calling Rogers Place.
Welcome back to the second intermission, brought to you by Century Downs. Come for the action, stay for the fun as we welcome in Glenn Gulletson, the head coach of the Calgary Flames. Welcome back to Penticton, but you've been here 4 years, you were saying a moment ago. Is that right?
Yeah, I was here with Vancouver for 3 and my first one here with Calgary, so I got my colors straight.
And you've seen a lot here so far through you know, a game last night where the Calgary Flames club came in and looked pretty darn solid. We're seeing a pretty good effort as well. It seems like the storyline's the same, Glenn, though. Matthew Tkachuk just continues to impose his will. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, certainly every time he's on the ice, something is happening. And, you know, I thought they played a strong game yesterday, especially after the first period. They really got going, and I thought it was a good effort by the Calgary team the whole way. You know, just to I think the shots were nearly double, and I thought it was a good effort by our guys. And but Matthew's certainly in the mix with everything you see going on out here, and that's a good thing, but he's going to have to manage that.
That's an interesting point, because you obviously don't want to harness a player too much, a player like that. He feeds off it and he really draws players in. So what is the thought? You let him, when you say harness it, that means what?
Well, you know, he's gonna be one of those players that plays on the edge, and what we love about him is that he's trying to make a difference every shift. He's trying to win every shift, and you can just see that in his passion level. And at the end of the day too is you don't want him to be a marked guy out there by the referee that they're always looking for him. You know, from what I see, he just plays the game real hard, goes to the hard areas. But, you know, we got to make sure that he doesn't have a mark on him, and they're looking for him all the time, too, because, you know, as you can see, he's got some skill, and he's always around it. So that's what I mean by harnessing, to make sure that, you know, as a young guy in this league and trying to get a foothold in the league, that you don't create any unnecessary interference for yourself.
And as you continue to evaluate the prospects in the system in your first year with the Calgary Flames, what specifically are you looking at?
Well, we've implemented some systems with these young guys, even going as far back as development camp, and we see some of it here now. And for me, I'm just kind of looking at how those things are meshing into a game. It's easy to put them in practice and have them, but you know, when the real bullets are flying and there's pressure on these kids, they feel you know, the eyes are on them. They want to come to main camp. They want to make an impression, and we see who can play within the structure. But certainly, we want to start introducing this stuff because main camp's right around the corner.
Yeah, great point. Main camp, as you say, is coming up here. It'll all get going September 23rd. So now take me through daily life for Glenn Gulletson. You're in Calgary now. You've been there for a while. You've moved in. You've settled. The work has begun for you.
Yeah, no question. We've been meeting as a staff since the 20th or so of August, and you know, it's long days going through what we want to do, and we're all new, so we're getting together and then just getting to know each other, but certainly laying down the framework of what we want to do every day. And you know, is what we want to do in main camp as far as videos, what we want to have on the the dressing room walls as slogans. We redesigned a few things, and then the meat and potatoes, going through our practice planning, going through our roles as coaches. So all that planning for the season, our schedule, rotations. So it's extensive, it's long days, but we've been organized and we've chopped through a lot of that, and we're going to head back tomorrow and continue that for the next 5 days until we start.
So many layers at your position, but I guess for you, if you could say a Glenn Gulutzan coach team will be what? What will the identity be that you hope to impose?
Oh, for sure, it's competitive, and we're going to talk a lot about the word compete, and it's me and you, and there's only one puck on the ice, and how are we going to get it back, and how are we going to compete for it? So at the end of the day, if someone said, hey, a Glenn Gulutzan coach team, man, they compete hard, you know, that's a good measure for any coach.
You like your team, obviously. What are the big pieces and the keys to your success if you are going to have it this season?
The question is we're going to have to compete. We're going to have to play fast. We're going to have to defend fast. We're going to utilize the back end, the speed of the back end. And, you know, with the pieces we have up front in the offense, you know, we can score. But at the end of the day, we've got to hack in on the specialty teams, hack in on the goals against, and make sure that, you know, we bring those down. I think it's more the chuck-up puck. I have mine. I'm not going to get to throw it. But, no, we just want to hack in on that goals against. And I think that if you look at the teams that have made the transition from not making the playoffs a year ago to making it, and in San Jose's case, going to the Stanley Cup final, they scored about as many goals, but they really hacked away on their goals against, and that's one thing we're going to do.
Great stuff. Thanks so much. We'll let you get back to the chuck-a-puck. There he is, Glenn Gulutzan, the head coach of the Calgary Flames. Stay with us. Jesse Puljujärvi is not on the ice tonight, but here's a look at his draft day.
Puck number 281. 281. You're the winner of $50. You can collect your prize at Valley First Guest Services. The name will be up there along with the puck number. So puck number 281. You can collect your prize at Valley First Guest Services up at the main concourse.
I like Edmonton, and I'm very exciting to go there, and I'm very happy now.
Hey Jesse, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm Tom.
Hi.
My name's Tom. Very nice to meet you.
Aika odotettiin ja Edmonton tuli ja oli semmoinen, että nyt taitaa mun ottaa ja kamerat tuli siihen ja niin ne otti ja oli kyllä hyvä fiilis ja nätti mennä lavalle.
Jesse?
Yeah.
I'm Chris.
Yes.
Good to meet you. Live with the number 4 pick from Edmonton, Jesse Puljujärvi.
Yeah.
Close? How would you say it?
Jesse Puljujärvi.
Okay. I'll have to work on my finish, especially with all the Finns being selected high in the draft.
Thanks, Jesse. Kiitos samoin.
Ei jotain Tappara-kareja.
Okei, jää. Ei nyt ihan. Melkein.
NHL pictures, hockey card pictures, all that stuff now.
Put it on, take it off. These are going to be draft day ties.
Game worn tie.
Yep. Put them on, take them off.
Take it off. Same thing with
Just like the ties.
Just like the ties. They need to.
We're going to cut them up and put them into trading cards for your draft day card. And last but not least, would you take a selfie? Thanks, Jesse.
Perfect. What kind of a player is Edmonton getting in you?
I'm very work hard and I have good shot and I'm good skate.
Great.
You're in the clear.
Good.
Go find your family. Enjoy. Congratulations.
Yes. Kiitos.
Onneksi olkoon.
Kiitos.
Battle of Alberta has been a rather heated one here at the Young Stars Classic. This web stream brought to you by Century Downs, and lots of entertainment in that second period. Now, you just saw a shot go off the post. Now Oliver Shillington gets hit right after that. As he's going off, look what happens the other way. Tyler Parsons, right near the end of his time in this game, 3 huge stops in net for the Calgary Flames as Parsons had himself a really big game. Physicality continued. Austin Carroll nailing Braden Christopher there. Actually, that was Butcher. He goes off to the Oilers locker room to get some work done. Then the Oilers take their first lead. It was 1-1 until Joey Bennett gets his second goal of the game. Goes up high on the first shot, Mason McDonald's face, and then more physicality. Hunter Smith gets his first fight of the tournament, and he goes up against a Cale Dotzel who had hit Matthew Tkachuk right before that, which is why he needed to drop the gloves with a much bigger man. It's been a very, very heated Battle of Alberta through 40 minutes. Pat Steinberg and this man, Gene Principe, I feel like he agrees with me.
I would agree wholeheartedly. I'm really looking forward to period number 3. Butcher is back at center. Ryan Lomberg, who's been no stranger to annoying the Oilers. Matthew Tkachuk, though, I would say leads the way in that category. I think the Oilers thought that might have been an interference call, and Lomberg, as he ran Butcher right out of the play. Jones at the point, and we'll see how long we get 5-on-5 hockey, because we had very little of it as McDonald faces his 3rd shot of the hockey game. First of the period, had 2 as he came in about the midway point of that middle frame for Tyler Parsons.
Final 10 minutes basically of that second period was all special teams. There were some 5-on-3s, and there was some there were all kinds of different calls each way. So Parsons and then Mason McDonald had to be sharp, and obviously it continued at the other end for the Oilers. As they've had themselves a very strong game from Dylan Wells between the pipes.
Yeah, the Oilers taking the approach. They brought 3 goalies to the event and have decided to have each of their goalies play a game. Where you saw the Winnipeg Jets game you did last night. They split their time. The Flames splitting their time. I'm not sure which is the better approach. Both work. I'm guessing if it were me, I would rather play the entire game as opposed to splitting it, but that also may mean you only play once while the team plays 3 times.
Well, the Flames went the full way with John Gillies last night between the pipes, deciding to split tonight. The Calgary Flames, the only team in the tournament with 4 goalies.
Phillips out front to Dubé. Will we see all 4?
I think there's a chance we'll see at least cameos from all 4 at some point. The guy that probably would have the least chance, I'm guessing, is Nick Schneider. He's not a drafted player. He was signed to a contract at a training camp last year, so he might have the least chance.
Christopher, cross ice to Platzer. Oh, he rings it off the post and then looks high above, wondering what is going on. Second time he's done that. Looked like it might have been offside, but Phillips kept his back skate just outside the blue line. Kyle Platzer, that's twice tonight. He's hit the post on 2 bullet shots, but he can't beat either goalie so far. Rasmussen dumps it in and then goes to get it. And there's Tkachuk. Well, he hasn't bothered anybody for 5 seconds.
Give it time.
Yeah, he's got lots of time. 18 minutes, in fact. I would love to hear the conversation that is had post-game with him, or whenever they talk to him about his tournament. Brad Treliving, Glenn Gulletson. Shot, that goes wide. I'm not sure what they're going to say. That's why I'd want to hear it.
It's true. Like, do you say dial it back? Do you say keep doing what you're doing? He's effective, and as we said, straddles a line, and sometimes when you straddle that line to be effective, you go over the line, and we've seen that a couple of times in this tournament because he's spent some sizable amount of time in the penalty box too.
Well, Ryan Huska was asked that this morning exactly. Do you want him to dial it back? And he's like, no, we want them to be, who they are. Tuola, the wraparound. Ooh, I thought he was going to sneak it by. But Wells able to get across. Pile up in the corner. Agard the shot. Nice save by Wells. Rebound. Ooh, Tola had a chance. Tuola thought he was going to get it by Wells, but wasn't able to do it. And that'll be icing against the Oilers as the Flames coming very close to tying up this hockey game.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities for 2016 sixth-round pick A2 Tuola. A lot of people in Everett excited about him. Let's go back before those Tuola chances. Here's that opportunity for Platzer that you're talking about. Second chance that he's hit the post as gets Christopher to him right there and right off the post. And as you see, he looks skyward. And here's the Tuola opportunity on the other side as the Flames come very close to tying this game up at the other end.
And credit Greg Chase with a nice forecheck there to lead to that 2-on-1. And Agard with the chance. It's not often you get two Danish players at a Young Stars tournament, but we've got two of them playing tonight. Patrick Russell for the Edmonton Oilers and Mikael Agard on the part of the Calgary Flames. The Danes starting to work their way up the hockey ranks. Frans Nielsen, Jannik Hansen, Frederick Anderson in net, to name a few. Rasmus Andersson, who's had a lot of attention paid to his weight, which is down. Chad Butcher steals. There's Kyle Jenkins jumping into the play. Shot. McDonald makes that stop. There's Anderson involved. McDonald again. Lomberg, the hit on Russell. Things kind of slowing down a little bit, and that'll bump off of Hunter Smith, who's back after his fiery fight with Cale Dotzel.
You were mentioning the two Danes in this game. There's one of them, Mikael Agard, and both Agard and that man, Patrick Russell, they not only are playing in this game together, but they're very familiar with one another. They've both represented Denmark in the last two World Under-20 Div 1A championships. So right underneath the top World Junior Hockey Championships. So they're very, very used to not only playing high-level hockey, but also representing their country, which just happens to be Denmark. And yeah, not very often you see two in the same game, but both very, very highly touted Danish prospects.
Well, and Nicholas Jensen a few years ago with the Vancouver Canucks, a high first-round pick as well. Shot from the point, that's deflected. It goes up and over McDonald, and out of play. And just to finish the thought on Patrick Russell, the Danish player on the part of the Edmonton Oilers, played 4 years in Sweden, then came over to continue his career and decided to go to college hockey, but came out a little bit early at the age of 23, thinking it may be time for me to start my pro career. You talk to him, speaks fluent English. His grandmother spoke English to him when he was growing up, so language not an issue at all.
Russell, a teammate of the most prolific goal scorer of this game. Joey Bennick played with Russell at St. Cloud.
Chance for Platzer. He'd like to get a goal. He's definitely had the chances. Platzer saying this morning that he got to the rink yesterday and saw a C on his sweater and couldn't have been more proud to wear it last night. Has never worn a letter in his junior career, but like so many kids, well, at least some wore it in minor hockey. Greg Chase looking for the short pass to Platzer. Maybe could have shot, but deferring to his teammate. Phillips cross ice. Speaking of shooting, Culkin maybe with the chance there. Lomberg hit into the end boards. There's Platzer, digs it out. And over to Matthew Benning, who is one of a handful of Oilers that have been upset at Matthew Tkachuk tonight. There's Dubé, knocked ahead by Phillips. Phillips trying to cut in, couldn't quite corral that puck. Benning there defensively. Phillips has got it back. Phillips. Jankowski jumping in off the bench. His pass goes all the way down the other end of the ice as Dykov couldn't control it. Roman Dykov.
Things have settled down a little bit. It's not as heated, at least in the first 6 minutes or so of this third period.
Deschanel tried to make his way to the front of the net. There's Matthew Tkachuk. Nice defensive play. Lead pass to Austin Carroll. But back to intercept was Kyle Jenkins. There's Tkachuk. Just loses the handle on the puck. Shirley shoots, scores! Colin Shirley with the wrist shot. And Edmonton takes a 3-1 lead.
And that one beats Mason McDonald right through the 5-hole. And another one that he probably is going to want to have back. The first one that he let in on Bennick, probably not one of his favorites either, but nice play nonetheless, and Shirley does what is just smart. Get it on net. Actually goes a little bit to the side of the 5-hole, kind of gets him underneath the arm, but a nice shot as Shirley puts it towards the net, and the Oilers have had a couple of those where just putting it towards the net. Joey Bennick's goal, the go-ahead goal, same idea from a different angle, but decides, hey, you know what, there's no other play. Let's see what happens. Maybe get a rebound at the very worst, get an offensive zone face-off. Well, in both cases, ends up going in. It's 3-1 Oilers.
Yeah, Oilers find themselves in a very similar situation to last night. They were up 3-1 and then scored an empty net goal to make it 4-1. And Mason McDonald, I mean, his body language and his reaction just says, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a little disappointed in you because there was a very, very wide open opportunity for you to use a pun on Colin Shirley's last name.
Surely you expected me to do that.
I certainly did.
I did it last night. I don't want to overdo it.
I'm calling the cops on you.
I'm expecting that Mason McDonald will rebound here. I'm sure he would like to see more action, and he gets some. As that shot goes wide by Kyle Jenkins. Look at Ryan Lomberg take off. Lomberg in on Wells, backhand. It goes way wide. Just kind of misjudged where he needed to slide that.
Nice back pressure, though, to break that up. Kind of made him force it right at the last minute.
Lomberg takes a whack on the wrist. Shot from the point, goes wide. Chance for Mangiapane out front. Lomberg again, and Wells is there to stop Mangiapane and Lomberg as the Flames coming on strong, responding with a great couple of shifts after the Oilers bumped their lead to 2.
Nice bounce back shift from the Flames, and Ryan Lomberg had the best opportunity. The second best opportunity came from that young man, Andrew Mangiapane, both coming very close to scoring. Here's Lomberg, and take a look at the back pressure right at the last second, and that's what I thought. He knocked it away, and that's why it was not able to be completed. Lomberg, who scored last night, almost had an opportunity to get back within one, and here's the chance for Mangiapane. Nice stop by Wells to get back across and keep that out. So good work by the Edmonton defender to get back.
Rasmus Anderson on Chad Butcher. Agard the shot, scores! Mikhail Agard from the blue line beats Dylan Wells, and we're back to a 1-goal hockey game.
God, everything got scrambly there after that big hit. The next thing you know, Agard's got a wide open look, and he risks it past Wells to get the Flames back within 1. And for Mikhail Agard, who we just talked a little bit as the Danish product, here on a tryout for the Flames, that's a big goal for him. So here's the hit as Anderson crushes Butcher. Butcher's been in the middle of a lot of stuff today too, and then the goal comes very shortly afterwards. A little bit of a scrambly play, and next thing you know, Agard's got the shot from the high slot, and he just picks the corner. Probably one Wells would like to have back too. Might have been screened a little bit on it, but the hit turns into a broken play. Next thing you know, Agard has got himself a goal.
Now here's Greg Chase, a shot. Oh, he rings that off the post. Shot from the point. McDonald will make that stop off Betker. Greg Chase really starting to be a factor in this hockey game. Platzer gets it back almost to the midway point of period number 3. Both teams at this point concentrating more on the game than some of the extracurricular stuff.
I wonder if that's by design too. I wonder if both coaches might have said, okay, it's September, let's dial it back a little bit here in the third period.
Matthew Tkachuk. No, that's Dylan Dubé in the corner. One is 59, one is 19. Wrist shot. Wells makes the stop there. As wide open was Stepan Falkovsky.
The scoring plays on those last 2 goals very, very quickly bunched together. Colin Shirley made it 3-1. His first, that came from Jaden DeShano, and then Mikhail Agard unassisted. There's a nice stop from Wells once again, and a good bounce back save, because I probably won't be thrilled about the second goal that comes in, but nice job, top of the crease, gets square, and doesn't allow that Falkovsky shot to bother him one bit.
There's Tkachuk, tried to sneak one in on the side there, but Wells had his body hugged along the post. Jankowski, Carroll, Tkachuk have been the most effective line for Calgary this evening. Wrap around by Tkachuk, Carroll! Oh, Wells comes across to make the save. So Matthew Tkachuk not getting as involved physically, but continues to create opportunities for the Flames. And here he comes again. Tkachuk cutting in on goal, gets it across the crease, but Jankowski not able to reach it. Flip pass, Kenny Morrison tries to take it from the back skate to his stick, had to hold up. It's Tkachuk again. Falkowski out to Carroll, and that just goes off the end of his stick. Flames coming on strong. Falkowski now, the last few chances, has been really strong offensively. And behind the play is Matthew Tkachuk, involved again, this time
with
Aaron
one of the
Irving.
Oilers. Defenseman Aaron Irving was who he was involved with that time around, and again behind the play.
I like him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to play against him, but I like him. Chance out front, backhand. Second chance of McDonald's there to make the stop. Thomas Foster thought he had him beat. So good chances, both ends of the ice. This tempo is picking up. Just under 10 minutes to go. Pat Steinberg, Gene Principe, the lone game of the 2016 Young Stars Tournament on a Saturday night. We hope you're with us. It's been a full day of hockey with the start officially of the World Cup of hockey. And now here's Hunter Smith. It's a 3-on-1. Smith help on both sides. Shot, scores! Braden Burke with the wrist shot, and suddenly we've got a 3-3 hockey game.
And that 3-on-1 kind of developed out of nowhere. A couple of bad jumps up on the Oilers side of things, and next thing you know, here's Hunter Smith leading the rush. He had a man to his right. He decides to dish to Burke, and the Lethbridge Hurricane wires it home. Braden Burke, who finished third in the Western Hockey League in scoring, he's here on a tryout. Made no mistake, and that's why you're number 3 in the Western Hockey League in scoring right now. Braden Burke trying to make an impression on this team, and he does so right there with his first of the tournament. 109 points with the Lethbridge Hurricanes last year. More than tripled his point totals from one year to the next, and now he's tied this game up. He attended the Flames development camp in the summer, made an impression there, and with that goal to tie it, makes an impression here.
Well, and these two teams making an impression on the nearly capacity crowd at the South Okanagan Event Center. This has been a very entertaining hockey game. Irving over to Betker. He'll wrap it in and then get wrapped into the boards. Tries to separate from Lomberg. Mangiapane gets hit, but the shot off the post to Ola. And suddenly the Flames were a couple inches away from their lead. Bennett the shot, and McDonald make the stop, and then will cover up. A chance at both ends of the ice, and the Flames have really turned it up since the 3-1 deficit. I've been talking about it all night.
We get to see it.
Now you get to see it. Here's Penticton, British Columbia at its best.
I got a question for you. What does the city know about adventure? What could a town with passion, spirit, and charm know about the finer things in life? Well, I'll tell you. More than most. You see, it starts with the people. And exceptional weather, a relaxed and healthy lifestyle, and a friendly, active community that runs generations deep in every last one of us. That's who we are. That's our story. Now, it's probably not the one you've been reading in the papers. The one written by folks who don't want to share our secret, afraid of what we're capable of. Because when it comes to lifestyle, it's about as much as what you can do as how you do it. Now, we're from Canada, but this isn't Vancouver, or the Big T.O., or the Stampede City, and we're certainly no Igloo City. This is the Peach City, and this is what we do.
I may mention again, the family vacation. Love the trip down the canal. That was fantastic. Also, Peach Fest was on. Got to see Honeymoon Suite and Chilliwack. So old people like me may remember they were some good bands back from the 70s and 80s. So lots to do, old or young. If you travel to Penticton, British Columbia, hopefully tonight you're just doing hockey with us, Pat Steinberg and Gene Principe. Great hockey game going on right now. Dylan Wells took that right off the mask as the Flames are really turning it up. Jenkins fighting off now. Here's the Oilers on a 2-on-1 chase. Ooh, gets it across. Well, tried to. Fantastic defensive play by Rasmus Andersson. As that broke up a 2-on-1, maybe, Pat, you could even say a 3-on-1.
Yeah, for Greg Chase, he thought it was a 3-on-1 because he passed to the trailer as opposed to going across, and that's why Anderson was able to get a stick on it. You'll see here, Chase looks, he knows he's got one, and there's the trailer that he's looking for Platzer, and instead, it actually looked like it was the trailing forward who might have got the stick on it instead, but Anderson, and yeah, it was Ryan Culkin who was able to get back there as well, the defenseman. So good job by the Flames to regroup, but we've seen a lot of that, you know, a couple of jumps up from a forward or a defenseman. We've seen some odd man rushes in this third period, and it's led us to the most goals we've seen in any frame tonight.
Morrison's got it after it deflected off the stick of Colin Shirley. Betker in the corner. Carroll is there. Morrison. And it's Deschanel who's able to come out with it. Falkowski kind of had a quiet first two periods, but he's looked pretty good in the third. Betker to Shirley. He'll just dump it into the corner. Lane Bauer's there. Deschanel with the shot. Recovered by Shirley. Back to Bauer, and his backhand went wide. Jones back to get it, following in the footsteps of his brother Seth, who played at Portland, and that's also where Caleb has been playing and coming off a great season. 55 points in 72 games. Fourth round pick, 2015. Ooh. Weird bounce there. Dylan Wells was coming out, went back in, and it still nearly beat him. Matthew Phillips gets pushed to the ice, and the Oilers come back, led by Aaron Irving. He'll look for some help, but the Flames back in numbers, so here they come. Shillington, who took that hard hit in the second period, left for a while, but he's been back and has looked fine ever since Braden Christopher hit him. Phillips' shot. I think that went right off the stick of Wells. Another one, and Wells got a piece of that.
That was a real nice pass from Brett Pollock to set that opportunity up for Phillips. Kind of one of those no-look passes, and right Johnny on the spot was Matthew Phillips, because he got a very good scoring opportunity from that.
Shillington headmans it to Dykov. Back to Shillington. The Flames gain the blue line. Have some room. Backhand shot just goes wide by Agard. And there's Jones. Son of Popeye Jones, for those that follow the NBA, longtime NBAer, also spent some time during his career with the Toronto Raptors. Puck lost out front, so Wells has to make the stop off Burke, who already has one goal. Wells, Pat save, second save with his glove. Oh, great effort on the part of Agard, but Wells making not one but two stops on the Danish player.
Well, and let's start to remember the name Dylan Wells over the next number of months as he makes two really nice stops. Pad save, then glove save, robbing Agard twice. But let's start to remember this young man's name. The 18-year-old goaltender from Peterborough attended the summer tournament, the Ivan Holinka summer tournament for Team Canada. And when you do that, you all of a sudden become on the radar for the World Junior team. You become on the radar for the upcoming NHL draft. Let's not forget Dylan Wells' name, because that's a pretty impressive player that has come out and plied his trade tonight. He's looked good. Wouldn't be the NHL draft because he's drafted, but certainly for the for the upcoming World Juniors. Yeah, he's performed well tonight.
Well, Wells is the first Peterborough Pete's goaltender taken by the Edmonton Oilers since, can you do a drum roll? Very good, Pat. Andrew Werner, second round, 34th overall, 1991.
It's impressive research you've done there.
It's called Google.
I was impressed with my Ivan Halenka stat.
Yes, that was, I trumped you. I'm one of those guys, eh? You got a great story. I think I got a better one. And then I laughed at my own jokes. Chance, saved by Wells. Boy, the Flames almost deserve to be in the lead. Shirley, ahead to Deschanel. Nice passing. Matthew Benning trying to get into the play. Had his stick chopped right out of his hand. He says, hey, ref, are you watching this? I should mention the referees, Reed Anderson and Troy Murray, and the linesmen Michael McGowan and Tarrington Wyanzek, who've been, well, you know what? They've been busy, but have not impacted this result.
Here's the big stop by Wells again on Kenny Morrison. Nice rise and shot from the Flames defenseman, but Wells right there. He's been really good tonight. Hasn't made a ton of super highlight reel saves, especially in the first 40 minutes. He's been very good in some of those on display here in the third, but Oilers have got to be pretty happy with what they've seen from the young 18-year-old, and I think the future looks very, very bright.
Took part in the CHL Top Prospects game and he's had quite a night. The Flames one shot away from 40, which more than I would have thought, but I'm not sure how Wells feels because he's had a very busy evening.
16 shots already in the third period for the Flames. Wells has been very busy.
Smith in the corner, digs it out. Shot goes wide. Morrison, who's had a strong night. Flames keep it in. Volkovsky to Smith, who was involved with Cale Dotzel. And I will say this, I'm not sure I've seen Dotzel since that fight.
Good point.
I don't, and that was fairly late in the second period. Shot from the point, doesn't get through. Here comes Brayden Christopher. He's got Greg Chase going on the right wing. Gets it to him a little late, but Chase at least initially had it. Matthew Benning off the bench. Here's Betker. Gets it out front. And Agard sweeps it away. You know you're old when you went to high school with one of the players' dads. And that would be Matthew Benning. You're supposed to say, no, Gene, you're not old.
I was just trying to do the wheels in my head were turning.
Yeah.
So
I'll be 50. 50 in February.
You went to high school with his...
I went to high school. That's what got you reacting.
No, you've already showed off your math skills tonight. I knew that you graduated with honorable mention.
What year did you graduate high school?
2002.
Oh, put that away. Back pass. Shot from the point. Doesn't get through. Shillington has it blocked. Dykov back to Shillington. Waits, patiently dumps it into the corner. Matthew Tkachuk tries to get it. Shot and the save by Wells. Austin Carroll had the chance. Wells sprawled out. They're trying to recover, and he's back in position. Jankowski, Dykov, back to Shillington. Defers to Shillington again. The tip just goes wide by Tkachuk. It's wrapped around the boards. Shillington's got it again. So they're at 40 and counting. Tkachuk tries a little between the legs pass, but that's intercepted, and it is sent down the ice, and that will not be icing as McDonald plays it. Just a minute 40 left in this hockey game, so we could be headed to overtime, Pat.
3-on-3, and then a shootout, just like in the NHL. So 5 minutes, 3-on-3, and then a shootout to decide this game if we get there in the final 85 seconds here.
Anderson will just wrap it right in. Wells, long rebound, chance. And luckily there, Wells with the juicy rebound that almost led to a fourth goal for Calgary. Benning ahead to Bennick. And that'll be offside as Chad Butcher just a shade ahead of Bennick at the Flames blue line.
62 seconds remaining in period number 3, and I'll say this much: shots are 41-31 in favor of the Flames. They certainly have maybe taken over a little bit in the shot department here in the third period, but all things considered, it's been a pretty even game to this point. I don't know if
she's ready for overtime.
Yeah, no sleeping on the game here. So into the final minute, are we going to see some overtime for the first time in the 2016 Young Stars Classic?
Flames are hoping not. They've had the better of the chances, but that puck hops over a stick, and it's Russell trying to pressure, give the Oilers a chance. Anderson now leading the charge. Platzer mishandles on the first play, but gets it back. Platzer's hit a couple of posts tonight. He'd like to see if he can get another great chance. Down to 20 seconds now. Hunter Smith will just dump it in. With Betker, Smith and Betker, and those boards and glass did a little bending. Then Betker brought down by Smith. Smith out front, deflection. Oh boy, great chance there. Is Hunter Smith making an impact late in this game? There's Smith again. Tkachuk the pass. Oh, the Flames can't quite corral the loose puck, and so you hear the final whistle for period number 3. And Pat, you explained it. Now we'll see it as the Flames and Oilers are headed to overtime.
And I think that it probably deserves it. Here's Hunter Smith right at the end on Betker. Gets him and tackles him down to the ice too as Hunter Smith shows off his strength. Pretty impressive. Didn't really have a lot of speed going in with that hit, just used his raw strength, and you're talking about a 6'7" frame like Smith's, he can do that. But this game's been even, and this game deserves some overtime because it's been a lot of fun. Let's take a look at what happened here in period number 3 as to how we got here, as it was a 2-1 lead for the Oilers heading into period number 3. They made it 3-1 on this Colin Shirley goal, and you can tell by Mason McDonald's body language he didn't like that one. Big hit by Rasmus Anderson. That kind of turned things around because shortly afterwards, next thing you know, Flames have got back within one. Mikkel Agard from way out is able to beat the Oilers goaltender Wells, and that makes it 3-2. Next thing you know, on a rush, big shot, Braden Burke wires it on the 3-on-1, and that's why we're heading to overtime. Burke ties the game for the Flames. Agard got him back within 1. Shirley have the Oilers up by 2 to start off the third period, and now off to overtime we go.
And I'm going to agree with you. There's the Oiler coaching staff led by Jerry Fleming, along with J.F. Houle and Tony Borgford. I think that Rasmus Anderson hit kind of, it sort of turned the tide. As at that point, the Flames were, down 3-1 and looked like it might be a difficult hill to climb to get back into it. But Anderson, the hit led to the goal, led to another goal, and from that point on, I think Calgary's had a little bit better of the play. But Dylan Wells has been really good. I mean, this is what this tournament's about, and no disrespect to the high draft picks, because you love to see Matthew Tkachuk, you love seeing Jesse Puljujarvi. We would figure these kids are going to be in the NHL this year, next year, soon. It's the stories of players and prospects that we're unaware of, that we don't know a lot about, that you get to watch, you get to see, and you cheer for these young men whose dream is to play in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, and for players like Ben Betker and players like Greg Chase, who were able to play some of their first professional hockey over the last little bit, it's big for these guys too, because they've been in the organization for a little while, played junior hockey, then get their first taste of pro hockey in the American Hockey League and the ECHL. Now you're trying to prove to the team that you've made the strides over the summer and can maybe spend some more time at a higher level the coming year.
3-on-3. Holy space, Batman. Lots of room. I forgot. Butcher, Benning, Mangiapane out there, as well as Dylan Dubé. And here comes Shillington. Oh, can he skate? Shillington shoots. Oh, that goes wide. So it's the Oilers coming back now. Potentially a 2-on-1. Nice play defensively by Dubé. And Shillington is back quickly. Mangiapane now leading the way, along with Dubé. Shillington following up. Shillington to Mangiapane, intercepted by Butcher. Jaden Deschanel on a breakaway. Deschanel shoots, scores! Jaden Deschanel with the overtime winner, and the Oilers beat the Flames 4-3.
Took only 47 seconds for us to get a goal, and when you don't play a lot of 3-on-3, and when you haven't practiced any of it like this, you're going to get a lot of odd man rushes. Deschanel takes that pass, and boy, does he make no mistake. mistake. I'm really happy for Jayden DeShano because that was a nightmare season he had last year at the Kootenay Ice. Only played 2 games, had a season-ending knee injury, wasn't able to play any time at all. So he comes to this tournament here, comes to the Young Stars Classic and gets a really cool moment like that. And here is the game winner. DeShano goes back to the forehand, makes no mistake on Mason McDonald. And I like the calmness of DeShano because he had to take a little time to corral it before he went out on the breakaway. But that's a really cool moment for him, knowing how difficult the last year has been. You know, he was a draft pick of the St. Louis Blues, didn't get signed up his entry-level deal, re-entered the draft, didn't get drafted, signed an AHL deal with Bakersfield, and now gets a moment like that. Good for him. What a game. Both teams played some really good hockey. He had a great performance from the Edmonton goaltender Wells. Matthew Tkachuk was the story of the first 40 minutes for the Calgary Flames as he dominated this game whenever he was on the ice. That's what a Battle of Alberta should be, Gino.
Wow, we hope the NHL teams are watching because that's a precursor to all the action they'll see in the preseason and then the regular season. 73 shots, 7 goals, 1 fight, countless hits. What a way to set up the rest of the weekend. Is only 1 game tomorrow. It's in the afternoon. It'll be Vancouver facing Winnipeg, and then well, it's almost over. We got to leave Penticton on Monday, or at least Tuesday early in the morning, as Edmonton will face Winnipeg in the start of a doubleheader, and then Vancouver will take on Calgary, and that'll put an end to the 2016 Young Stars tournament. But what a start to your Saturday night. I don't know what other plans you have, but you've got to be motivated to do something after watching the Oilers and Flames put on an entertaining night of just about everything, Pat.
That is a good way to mark the professional, Mr. Principe.
Yeah, as are you, Pat. It is true that Edmonton and Calgary can't get along in the broadcast booth anyways. Maybe not so much on the ice. Yes, it's time to dance our way out of here. For Pat Steinberg and the rest of our production crew, I'm Gene Principe, bidding you a good